More of him. Welcome back in. 2 o'clock, guys. We get back into the swing of things here with 2 hours to go on a positive day shaping up. Once again, 1%, in fact, now for the NASDAQ. We get better than expected GDP out this morning. If you missed it in the pre-market at 8:30. Yeah, it's appearing like good news for the economy is maybe good news for the market overall. Here's how things are looking. Right now, 1.3% for the NASDAQ. In fact, 0.4 for the Dow. Remember, this was lagging a bit, was red, the last one to go green on the day. 0.6 for the S&P, meanwhile. Pretty good afternoon as well for not only oil, but energy stocks, 1.19. Back to the upside. Bitcoin, Ethereum lagging ever so slightly, has been mixed board for the most part this afternoon, right across the entire thing, typical for a earnings day. Lots of big boxes on here, that's just representing big moves individually for stocks, including Tesla, still hanging on to 9.5% to the upside. It was up more than 10 at one point. TSCO among the leaders as well in the consumer discretionary names. All the casinos having a pretty good day. LVS Win leading right now, 4% and 3% for each of those. Cruise lines downside though, 2.25 for CCL and CLH, 1.5. or SHW, I should say, they reported 8% downside, but look at all the green here in the materials group as well. Nucor, one of them, almost 7%. PKG, STLD, FCX dragging a little, 3.4%, but overall material stocks are positive so far this afternoon. URI, another earnings name today, 9% higher. STX reported 11% to the upside. Still some lingering M&A rumors floating around about WDC and that Japanese company that we mentioned earlier in the week. 5% again today. For Western Digital, all of the semiconductors, maybe I spoke too soon. Yeah, Texas Instruments not there yet, but just 0.75 left. It was down almost 2%. So all of the semiconductors outside of TXN back to green. The software names have been pretty good today. That's IBM. They reported. MasterCard as well, 1.8% on earnings. There's energy, as we saw, 1% for crude oil. All the energy names having a pretty good day. That monster buyback program announced by CVX. They're leading 4.5%. Hope your afternoon is going pretty well here on a Thursday as we head towards Friday's actually going to be pretty quiet outside of, keep in mind, 8:30 we get PCE, the month-over-month PCE reading, which will definitely be a market-moving event. Make sure you're with us live at 8:30 to kick things off. Welcome back in. Let's get into what we were discussing this morning. If you joined us in the pre-market, a whole bunch of things to cover this morning once again, including obviously Tesla, the big one coming off earnings. Decent moves. I want to talk a little bit about Microsoft and some of the tech names as well, because decent moves in those that had earnings or still have earnings to come. Next week, I was going through the list during lunchtime. Next week is just everything. Pick one. Amazon, Apple, Google, they're all reporting next week. AMD even reporting next week as well. So let's get started. Here comes Neil. He's going to talk about one of his trades from this morning.
Welcome. Your trade of the day brought to you by Day Trade the World. It's going to be Tesla with a bit of a bonus. Sometimes you're driving down the lane and you see an open hoop and then Dikembe Mutombo swats it away and gives you one of these. It's just no, it's not going to happen. And that's what happens when you have a setup, you're going for a specific trade, maybe you like a long breaking out like I did on Tesla today, and quite frankly, it rejects that break. You are going to lose in that situation. You're probably not, if you're me, you're probably not dunking on Dikembe. I'm old, so I say it like Dikembe. I could have told you anybody, like you're not dunking on Turner. You're not dunking on Rudy Gobert either. But there was no chance, and I like two breakouts. I'll start with Lucid here because that was one from yesterday, regardless of Tesla earnings. There's $9. You're gapping above. I like the long for a continuation move. I'm talking Tesla as well. You had the 160. It's breaking. I think there's room to 165. Both of these I liked for the big, huge, hold all day long. You're just chilling with your feet up type of long, and that's not what happened. So it's a two-parter here for myself on Tesla. The 160 break with the scalp. If you're in scalp mode, that worked just fine. And this is a 3-minute chart, so you are going to see 2 entry points here. That's jam to the upside, get in and out, and there's a second candle in there. That's me taking the long, looking for, let's risk a couple of dollars. Let's see if it can't hold a 165. So scalp trade, yay, that worked out very quickly. The whole trade, well, that didn't last very long. Look at how quickly we are out of what I thought was going to be oh, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to go up to Dodge 165. It's going to be fantastic. But what you don't see here is me testing anything else except for going for a little bit of action off the 155 level. So what was I doing after that was an immediate fail? Well, part of it was a similar trade, looking for the big break, don't hold pre-market lows, looking for the $9 hold, don't get that. At that point, that's it. Long's no good. Looking, what am I doing with the EV names at that point? Suck it up, put your feet up and cry about it, or look for a short. The other thing you can do with a failed breakout is just accept the direction of the move and go with it. Don't fight the trend, go with the trend. So we grabbed the short on Lucid. Now, I didn't really have anything I favored on Tesla for the short, but the $9 level on Lucid, well, that works just fine. So we jump into the short on Lucid, pretty much right when it breaks, consolidates, tries to get back above here. This is a 15-minute chart, so zooming out a little bit more so you're more calm about it. We're shorting here 95, 96, and it flushes. And the key thing about this move is you kind of know almost exactly where I'm aiming for here. The last time we failed to break at that $9, you look at the wick, you look at it holding beneath, you see it get right down into like 855. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We're just going to layer out into 855. As a matter of fact, when it comes back up, we never get 55, we get 65. So I think there's still room to go. It comes back up, and we're reloading it on a lower high here at 890. So I'm still in this trade. I have my stops above, and I'm looking to get some out on the way down to 855. But the truth of the matter is, you are going to get into trades that are going to fail, right? You get in, you have an idea where your target is going to be. Maybe you, like I stared at $1.50 on the second leg of this in the face. If I was all scalp mode, that's just a win up there. But I wasn't. I was looking for a bigger move. All you can do is take the hit, have it look ugly, embarrass yourself a little bit, and then move on. Because the market is going to humble you. If you want to go and play with the big boy, sometimes you're going to get rejected at the rim. And the question is, can you come back in the lane when another opportunity presents itself? Another one did, and I jumped into the short on Lucid. That's all you can do. I can't rewind time. I don't have a DeLorean, so I can't pretend that I'm not down on Tesla today. But you can move on to the next, and you can learn from that. And what I learned here was, if you're looking for that big breakout trade, a lot of times, instead of taking it on the momentum break at 830, if you think there's a break of a level like that, continuing on for the rest of the day, be patient with it and only engage in that trade if you find it holding above, which it never really did. It was a breakout scalp. It never gave you that consolidation long that we would have been looking for. It's your trade of the day, not because it's a winner, but because it was a loser we could learn from, both how to do it better next time, but also where you can go when you spot a trend reversal. I liked it on Lucid today because I had better focus on it, but that's why it's your trade of the day here, guys. A winner, a loser, and how you can learn from it. And as always, brought to you by Day Trade the World.
Yeah, pretty impressive for Tesla right across the board today, still holding up around that 10% mark. Pretty impressive for this BuzzFeed right now. It's absolutely just crushing through offers up towards $2. I guess all you have to say now is we're using ChatGPT, and all is well. That's watchlist, guys, if you want to grab that. It's free for you from us every single day. If you're new, welcome. Hit the like and subscribe, guys. We just hit 375,000. Make sure you're one of those. Come join us every single day. This thing's nuts. 200, I should say. 280 right now, but just crushing through offers on level 2. Is BuzzFeed pretty impressive on that ChatGPT note that came out halfway through lunchtime. Here was a note this morning from Elon Musk. Surprise, surprise. He's bullish on Tesla sales. Let's continue this conversation on Tesla and the EV group here. After they cut prices, remember, they were down 20% in North America. That had everyone else under a little bit of pressure that day, and also today as well. Here's Rivian. There was no love for Rivian today. They did gap this thing higher, but then it just got absolutely crushed back to where we ended the day yesterday, even as Tesla's holding on to there or thereabouts, around day highs, guys.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back, gang. Thanks, Neil, for that little Tesla update there. As we just got out of Tesla, we actually made some money back on that. We'll explain our Tesla trade when we get a second as well. But yo, it's back time right now. It's Thursday. It's a nice day. I like Thursday. Thursday's one of my favorite days of the. You know, it used to be one of my favorite days because of football. Now that's over with. But you know the stat I just saw? In 2020, it's kind of a Thursday thing because The Office, at least I believe it was on Thursdays, and this is a while ago, but...
I want to say yes.
Yep, I'm going to say yes, it was as well, Thursdays. In 2020, so I don't know why this is just coming out now, The Office was the most streamed series with, this number is...
2020.
Is ridiculous.
Okay.
Well, 2020, because I guess COVID and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
So I don't
that
know.
Makes sense.
Maybe this is what's coming out now. This is courtesy of somebody. I don't know what this Twitter handle is. 56 billion hours watched. 56 billion hours watched. So shout out to Michael Scott and family.
Great show.
Now, I think I've watched that front to back at least twice, on every episode at least twice, because you're sitting there and it's like, what are we going to watch? And then for 23 minutes an episode, something like that, really quick. And I'm going to shout out to Pratt. I think Pratt was like falling asleep or something to The Office when he was on the air telling those stories as well. It's great background. It's a great background because every episode is so damn good, in my opinion.
If you guys want to indulge me for a second, there is a specific episode of The Office that I think, if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When Pam has her art show, and nobody comes to the art show.
Yep.
And look, Michael Scott, I think he's one of the greatest characters in TV history. But Michael Scott goes there and genuinely just falls in love with like one of the paintings.
Yep.
And it is like there are moments in TV.
And she can't believe it.
It's like that moment. There's a Will on the Fresh Prince with his dad, like that one.
Yeah.
How come you don't? That moment, those two, just unreal. Like the quality of acting, it's perfect, and it shows you why. You can say what you want about Michael Scott, but he's basically one of the best characters
His heart
ever.
is huge.
His heart is just there,
He's
and
just
he's
an
real.
idiot.
But he's real. But he's
real. That's
and
the
that's
problem.
why we love him.
No
because
filter.
he's real. But that's why everybody loves him, because he's real.
It's a great show. I don't know why I led with that, but that was just something there, and I knew that we'd get some good talk there on The Office. So, okay.
I feel better now. I'm about to get stopped out in Shop for like a 40-cent hit.
Oh, no, I'm long Shop. Oh, no, you're short?
Well, 48's long.
That's okay. I didn't realize
I literally just got stopped. We can go with Shopify. Shop was like the short I love this morning. It got down to 46.5, but I just retook it here and it just broke 48. So, I think at this point, it looks like maybe it's on another one of its runs up to 49 from yesterday. But it was really good before. I just reloaded it right before we did trade of the day here, and then it finally broke out. So, I think the jig is up, as they say. Is it the jig or the gig?
Both.
It's the gig is, I don't know. The jig,
I think you could use both.
The jig is up, the gig is up.
I think it's gig. Like, I would say gig is the
you're
right answer, but
probably
here
right.
we go. Not to celebrate on you, but I didn't even know you were in the short right there, but here we go. You're out, so now we can cheer for this to go up.
Let's go.
And have no
now I'm
preference
okay with it.
in this. Yeah, exactly. So, no, and the reason why, I mean, I know we're going to talk about Tesla here.
How come you didn't say it? Well, whatever, I'm joking.
Proudly Beal over here, buddy. There it is. Ooh, we just tried to get 04s there, and we missed it as it just went upside there. Again, the reason why we went long Shopify, we just took out the 50, VWAP right there. We are above. This is my setup. Like, this is the thing. If I just stay focused and stay away from the, I'm going to talk about Tesla in a second, and stay away from that. I'm actually at 05 here, not 04. So hopefully that can go back up and print us. But, above the 50 period, above the 200 period, and breaking through VWAP, and right now attached to sort of a neckline break. I mean, flat top break. There you go. What's up now, Sharif? You've got flat bottom break, Neil. You invented that one. I'm now inventing flat top break.
Done.
And Sharif can figure out his own technical look on this one and all that. But just kidding aside, that is the professor's look. But, it broke that, it broke there. So now let's see if Shopify can get going. It's up 1.5% now, same as the market. So if we think the market can get going. And remember, when all was doom and gloom, I voted to above 12,000 on the NASDAQ. I don't think I'm going to win. I mean, I don't think by any stretch of the imagination this is a done deal as wow, again today. If this is what the market wants to do on earnings and things like that, I mean, this is just the NASDAQ, but it's pretty wild. Like, it scares you that, like, look where holy crap. Remember I was talking to you guys before about what key level you wanted to load up all your longs at? Like, am I, like, on more drugs than I think right now? Because, like, I was talking about loading everything up at 11,900. That is the exact bottom right there today, 11,903, something like that. This is absolutely 11,905. Like, this is insane not to have that long down there. So that's life as a day trader. We call those levels, and I just should be sitting there so stupid. Instead, I'm looking at all these different stocks trying to find the bottoms, and I just had to go over there and pick that 11,900. So anyways, all right, that is what it is, but now we're up and away here. Let's see if we get that. Did we get that Shopify fill at 5? Yes, we did. So there it is. Now Shopify is starting to break up higher and higher and higher. As do you want to talk? You just talked about Tesla. Let me just talk about my Tesla quickly before we go on here to something else. So again, the same kind of thing happened this morning for me on Tesla. We take that 160 break. We actually liked it, but we kept on buying it all the way up, and then there was the trap that was set for us, and then we wind up getting out. I think that might have been that's the out there, and then we sold some. We kept some and sold some. So it was bad there, but it wasn't that bad. Then we take the long here at 158 and get out at 159. So that's $1. So that's okay. And then we try down here, get out, lose $1, then back and forth here between 159 and 158, no good. Then we switched our game up into shorts, and this is sort of where we made a little bit of money back. Unfortunately, it was off the show, but short there and out, that's a 40-cent hit. Then we built the short and brought it all the way back down. So that price rate there that we just had and just got out of, we actually wound up making $1.30 on some of those shares, and then we bought some more back there at 157.70, so 75 cents, before eventually getting out for flat rate there, right? So again, short at 50, out at 50, and now it's come back in. So we only made money really on the short Tesla, and it was a pretty hard, stupid trade. So it was nothing good there. Tesla for me today is the biggest losing trade for me, and really the only one that's holding me back from having a decent day. So we'll wait to see if it comes back in today. I may leave Tesla alone, as it was the nastiest one for me.
I was just having a look at some of the chips back to the upside here on decent volume as well. I was reading about this as well. SOUN, guys, getting some mention on the AI front. So we've seen how popular that has been of late. So SOUN, just a heads up, there's some AI mentions floating around, heavy call volume right now on this one. Little tiny stock back to 180 for SOUN. Let's go to some of the chip makers. There really wasn't much in the way of headlines to talk about this morning other than Intel to come tonight after the close. We get actually STM reported overnight or early this morning over in Europe, better than expected, but all of them seem to have been a bit of a fade today, guys, for some of the semiconductors.
This was the day. I even specifically said it too. Like I wasn't even trading Intel today, but I still managed to say this morning, yeah, this is a day I'm not shorting Intel off 30. I'm not unless it gets to 30.50 and then yada yada yada. That sucked. But it was a similar thing for me on Nvidia with Tesla, because if I was in scalp mode, it would have been such a different story. But I had breakout scalp long 200 to just under 201. I had dip by 198 that I scalped some out to. I took some out for $1.50, and then at this point here, I'm just gonna throw this away. There you go. It just got up to like 201.5, and I'm cruising like 3.5 in the money, and I'm thinking like 205. Like this is gone. Nvidia's gonna go, and I don't mind doing that trade. I had a couple of good scalp trades on. It was going absolutely fine, but if I'm going to do this and it rejects that top, here's the mistake, was getting back in and just adding. You can't add on the way back. Like once you're in, okay, we've scalped the trade, you got a couple of good scalp trades, you're up on the stock, I'm gonna hold a piece for like 205 or more than that. There's no reloading it when it rejects that top. And that's a huge mistake. So I made my mistake there. I probably could have flipped into a short and something else if I was being smart about it. I then waited for it to get down to, at least I did one thing that was smart. I don't have that idea thing. It doesn't matter. I did one thing that was smart. I liked 193, the previous close, for a bottom. When it got down there, that's when I actually decided to jump into the long, waited for it to get off, then bounce off that price. It was one little stop out, then I just jumped back in on a wick, got 94s, got 95s, but that's only to get a little bit back for me on Nvidia. I never found a way into Intel when it broke that 30. It was almost like it was too far away, and I decided that I didn't like going short in front of it, in front of the earnings today. So bit of a miss for me. Nvidia looks pretty strong, at least in the afternoon. And just one other thing, And I want to shout out because you guys are the greatest community in the world. I have no idea whether it's like the gig is up or the jig is up. And Steve G in the chat, jig is an old term for a lively dance.
Yep.
And in the Elizabethan era, why can't I say that? The word also became slang for a practical joke or trick. This idiom derives from this obsolete slang word. Now, I have no idea whether you use ChatGPT or just looked it up. Either way, thank you very much,
Oh,
Steve
yeah,
G.
that's right. You can ask that to ChatGPT.
Like, I feel like I should have just asked ChatGPT myself, but thank you very much, Steve.
You can always do that. Yeah, ChatGPT taking over the world right now here today. Look, NVIDIA, my #1 stock on the day, and quite frankly, the only one that I'm doing any damage on here. And it was a good one, no doubt. It's too bad because we had this huge drop down here that actually flattened us out there on, and I haven't traded it since, which is kind of, again, like ignoring some of these moves here on these 200 periods is just crazy that I missed some of these. And again, we're busy. I'm gonna not try to miss any right now. But yeah, that's it right there. Crazy move. Anyways, so yeah, we just kept on buying these dips, right? We went into yesterday's bottoms right there. Bought them at 193, 194. We kept on supporting this 194 area, and when it broke, we got out every time. So like in and out, so that's 194, out here. Sorry, that's 195, out 197, like it's $2. We just kept respecting this 50 period line all the way, and then we kind of left it. Again, another 194 in, out 195, like a smooth dollar. We talked about all these trades earlier on today. So it's a well positive stock, and this is the thing that I was not upset about, but we did have, and we don't even know what caused this move, because the futures were like at 12,010 or something, and then they just crushed 12,000 down to the downside, and that brought NVIDIA down like $1.50, and so I got long there because that's what I wanted, then long again, and then it broke as soon as we couldn't even blink, which saved us about $1. Then it started, the trend kind of the upside, but that bottom was still 193 down there. So, yep, NVIDIA, a great name. We'll be trading that more and more and more. Intel, we wound up losing on, and it did nothing all day. So I don't know, like we went long here. We were able to make a little bit of money until eventually it broke 50 and we got out, and now it's like barcode central. So I'll leave it Intel alone. It's not enough for me on that one. So chips, I think we'll just wait till earnings. I mean, trading these earnings names, although Tesla didn't work out well today, look at the second day. We'll talk about Microsoft. No, we won't, but eventually I will. And we'll talk about a second day play there in Softy that really worked out.
We're going to get to energy here. Oil still doing nothing, really, 1.5%. This one, LODE, just popped up. Speaking of energy names, they were just awarded a $2 million contract from the Department of Energy. So heads up on LODE on the NYSE ARC exchange. It's already right back down, as you can see. CVX, a monster ahead on the board there. It continues to be, if you missed it. Monster buyback announced this morning. Here it is. I can drag this over. There, $75 billion in buyback. You get the dividend boost to go along with it. Day highs, guys, for CVX.
Oh, I actually liked XOM more than CVX, but CVX, it's an absolute beast. I have nothing negative to say about the stock. It's just, this is the one, in my long term, this is the one I have. However, I tend to trade, it's weird, but day trading XOM or Oxy, typically speaking, and CVX was just a jam, and it's been a jam the entire day. I'm not happy with myself. I'm actually still on the bid here of XOM. Not happy with myself on XOM. This is very much like everything else. It's like the initial move up, 115 break. These wicks, I tried cleaning them up, but 115 break into 116, reload, stop out, reload too early in front of 115, stop, and then the trend has been clean to the upside. Why do I like a trend like this? Look at this level on the daily chart. It doesn't, ignore what happened 2 days ago with the open. Those are all nonsense wicks. 115 was a brick wall. The brick wall got taken out. The Kool-Aid man jumped through and said, what up? Let's go. I love Kool-Aid. Broke 115 and it's off to the races. This might not just be a trade for today. As long as you get strength and continued, any kind of continued positive movement in the oil market, I think this stock is going to run at this point. Look, the brick wall's been broken. You're going to close above this price almost certainly today. I think as long as we're opening up above 115, I am looking for longs in XOM. Probably you can do it in Chevron. The difference with Chevron CVX here, was it hasn't even broken on the daily yet. Like this, like 188, 190 still hasn't been taken out. You can still get a breakout on this one tomorrow, which I think we could. Maybe you get it today, or we could see it tomorrow. And I think each of these names have a lot of room to run. They've been tremendous in a lot of ways. They're still undervalued when you go from like a cost basis, and that buyback was monstrous for CVX. So I think these are longs that we're looking for the rest of the week. I mean, we only have tomorrow and this afternoon, and then looking into next week, as long as we're above these breakout prices. We're already there for XOM, and Chevron's very close, about to break its 52-week high as well.
Yeah, I just want to bring something down here quickly about Disney. Disney now 6 straight days upside right now, and absolutely motoring right here, Disney. And I just want to show one more thing here. I mean, look at Disney yesterday. Wow, look at Disney yesterday. 104 just in a straight line to 108. Hello. But right here, I just want to bring everyone to their attention, this 200 period here on a 3-minute chart, really held it and starting to go back up to the upside again. So Disney on quite the move right now, and just over the last couple of days. What is the reason for this? I mean, Netflix is, I guess, on a great report from Netflix, I could assume. And then traveling, I guess. People are traveling again, which is nice, which helps Disney in the theme park business. I don't know if it's directly related to anything about the theme parks, or maybe it's just the Netflix push. But there it is on the day here. Again, 107.50, a great bottom there. We just showed it to you on the 3-minute with the 200 period there. And then what I wanted to look at was the 20-minute, which is right here. So, I mean, wow, just a huge move up. And the reason why we're looking at this on a longer time frame is because looky at 109 right now. We just bounced off that the last couple days. This name, if we fade tomorrow though, because it's up so strong on what I feel like maybe Brendan or Neil or somebody that I'm missing a story, because I feel like Disney is up on something and I just don't know what it is. I know they were... I know I said that Reed Hastings should come over and be the new CEO of this. That's nothing that, I'm the one that said that. So I'm not creating my own stories there. I don't think that has anything to do with it. But I'm wondering about a 107.50 break as well right there on the way back down. If you think tomorrow is going to be a red day, that could break, and I could see us fall back into the 105 area. So I just want to keep Disney on watch right now for that. And then look, if you guys are like, you're not in, I've been talking about getting XLE for a while. You guys know I'm long this name. I don't actually have any Chevron. I have XOM, then Enbridge, and some of those other names. Valero's another one that I have.
Enbridge.
Enbridge is a great one. Yep, Canadian for sure. Fortis is another Canadian company. That's a great one. But look, XLE just continues to march higher. Here's the day on. I don't know what's happened to some of our data here. We'll figure that out. But 93, 94, right back to the highs again for XLE. So yeah, you did have to absorb this bottom, but we were talking about it when it was here. We were buying some more. We actually got super chatted down here, I remember, and they're like, is it time to buy? And I was like, yeah, as long as you don't break this 60 level, which it didn't do, and you're right back up to the upside. So XLE, the top two holdings are Chevron and XOM, heavily weighted. So, this is a way to play kind of the whole sector without picking a specific name. But Chevron's been outperforming XLE. So this is just a more conservative play, and that is an ETF, Brendo.
There was that note I just saw again, Sean, on Disney from a couple days ago. They were talking about, not that one, but they were talking about working with Apple on developing content for their headset when it comes out. Obviously down the road a bit, but yeah, nice look for Disney over the past couple of days. Mobileye, meanwhile, back to, its thing. I'll show you the chart in a sec, but it's been a back and forth kind of day, even as Q4 revenue beats driver assistant tech demand higher than expected, they're saying. Anyways, back and forth we go, though. It's sideways kind of action day for MBLY.
Yeah, this is a stock that might just end up being like, okay, like allow earnings to settle down and figure a way to get in for like the long term, a swing trade or something like that. Because the day trade, it's a liquidity. It's on 5.5 million shares, but liquidity stunk at the open. It's a little better now. And the issue was, like, I remember looking at it and saying, okay, over under 35, and then the 37 levels, right? Well, look at the rejection of the 37 level at the open. But here's the problem: this is not a technical glitch. Like it just drifted on the 37 break up to 39. So like good luck respecting that as resistance when it goes up against you, like, it's trapping you all the way up there for $2, and that's legit. Like, just opens up the spread and you can't trade it. And even when it broke 35, like, you'll say, well, that's not too bad at breaking 35. That's $1.50 to the downside, and the spread as it was going down was telling you there's not going to be support down here. Now that it's calmed down, there might be something to trade because you got some higher lows. This is my 15-minute chart. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can kind of see the 15 up there. Now that you're holding 35, there's a chance for something a little bit more reasonable going into the afternoon. So if we trend to the upside, if we see 35s again, maybe there's a dip buy. But if we start breaking above this 36 into 37, I might favor a long here. But this might just be a better serve for a bit of a swing style trade. I'll go over, just because I was in it for trade of the day, Lucid tested the channel above. It kind of wicked me out there, but you'll see not really much follow through. So this is probably still valid, but I might give it a chance as the market's drifting higher to get closer to 9 before I think about reloading it. And I'm in CRM there was a rumor that CRM was getting some, maybe revamping their board or making some board changes. I just typed CRM. So Brennan brought that story to us. I didn't catch it on the way up. I'll go to the 3 minutes so you can see better. On the way up, it went to 164, but it was at 160 to 161, so I just bought the dip on the way back in. If the market's strong, and Salesforce was relatively strong, and they got a positive catalyst, well, that buy the dip, or at least you have a relatively strong stock. So I'm holding on to that. I'm trying to get more at 161. I was bidding 160.50. I think that ship might have sailed. However, if it gets back up to that wick top, all out in front of 163.5, because if that's where liquidity dried up at the top, I think it will again.
All right, let's talk about a little bit of BuzzFeed right now. That Mobileye talk is good. I mean, we talked about Mobileye before when it was down to 1% or something earlier on in the day, and how great. I was like, what? It's already way down here. It was up 6%. Now it's nice to see it right back up for those of you that own said name. All right, so here's BuzzFeed. So I just want to talk about this quickly because there's a reason why I put these lines on here, and you could see this is, I mean, I didn't draw this just now. This is, printed on here, right? So you could see this is a 50 period. Just when it started to go parabolic, at first, I mean, look what happened here. I mean, can I zoom in a little bit more here to show you guys here a little bit? So here it is. Like, this is the 50 period down here at 130. It's kind of like do. And then it doesn't even, I mean, it breaks it a little bit there, but even if you go long and it doesn't go up, you just get out. Like, there's no problem there. But this is a clean break. Not only that, it breaks the 50, the 200, and VWAP all in the very same minute. And then look at the action that starts about noon. This is when they were talking about chat again, the AI, use of the AI to write their material. Like, FYI, I'm pretty sure everyone's doing that. And there it is right there. I mean, I've read articles that made no sense, and it's quite clear it's not human written. You guys know about that from a long time ago. So, but there it is right now. And then look at the 50 period, right? As it progresses to the upside, it never breaks it. I mean, when you're talking about breaking it, it's like maybe it breaks it there and then you get out, but that only flushes 3 cents from that spot. So what I would do when I see something like this is, if it breaks it and you're caught in it, fine. If you're watching it, that's great. But like, maybe just level it down to like the next level there. So that's $2, right? So that break of 217, you could say, okay, if it continues and you get like a parabolic candle or a bigger one like that, then you say, all right, now I'm going to level it down, find an area, because these lines aren't perfect, right? And then right here, I was just going to show you guys again, we actually broke that level, but came right in to this 240 area. So, whatever, like we can't, I wish I could sort of cover this up so that we could have not seen this. But, if I would have talked about it 3 minutes earlier, then we would have had a little bit of a better discussion, because I would have said it has to sort of break this area here in order for you to get out to say it was a true violation of the 50 period. And that's why when you're seeing me trade things like Microsoft, which we are going to get to in a minute, let me just call it Microsoft quickly just to show you the same example, because I believe that's what happened to me earlier today. So it wasn't, now everything's changed again, because the line was down here and it broke and I gave it a little bit of room. So, and that's what I wanted to show you. I gave it to that candle down there on the size. So you could see, even though we broke through 240, 250, I still brought it down to this level in order to get out. So it wound up costing me 15 more cents, but still, look at these longs back upside. We'll talk about that in a minute. Microsoft, thankfully for that one, or else, the disaster would have struck, 5 times this morning. But all right, so that's just, I hope that helped you out a little bit there about BuzzFeed, just talking a little bit there on what you want to look for when you look for retracements and possible outs. So that's that on BuzzFeed. We'll talk about that when it breaks 280, which it might do. That's the next level.
Yeah, BuzzFeed, all the rage today, including this note when it comes to Meta being paid as much as $10 million last year alone to not only add content, but add content creators to both Facebook and Instagram, according to the Wall Street Journal. That was out this morning. This was the other minor note. Former President Trump going to be reinstated to both Facebook and Instagram accounts coming up in the quote-unquote coming weeks, guys, for Meta.
In the coming weeks. So we'll see. Meta's a bit strong today.
Just a bit.
I don't know if you noticed this, but
I love Meta.
This Meta stock, it's kind of doing some things. And look, it's strong. Man, it's a story of everything today because every long, just not really holding on to it long enough, not holding on to it long enough. There was a good dip buy for me on Meta. I'm showing you on the 15-minute because that's where the trade is based off of, right? Like you got this big break at the open. You had 143 as a top yesterday. You had 145 as 2 days ago. That'd be Tuesday. That's right. I know the days of the week. A 145 top, and I played the dip. 143 into 145, and it's like, yeah, congratulations, Neil. Pat yourself on the back. I try to reload and stop myself out, but much bigger move. And this can happen. When we rejected that 12,000, I was really just thinking nothing was going to fall through. I felt like that was such a harsh turnaround in the morning that you weren't going to get follow-throughs on those longs, and you play it to the lower high. Meta said, I don't care. We're going topside today. And at this point, I really just think the top end of this range, as long as we're clear of that 145, remember I wanted NVIDIA to just be one of those longs breaking out and on the daily and just hold it forever kind of thing and play the trend? Well, Meta decided it actually wanted to do that today. So I look at this 146 area and a pullback and say, let's go for the dip buys here. If it's going to be a strong day, I want to be playing this one on any kind of a dip. This is a random name because I was looking at this. If the market rejects the high, if we reject the high, I have a name for some weakness that I'm looking to go for the short of. You can see what happened to block today. Monster rejection like a lot of other things. Lower high off yesterday's top at 81. I want to be shorting it twice. First around here 80.50, give it to like 65, and then I want to short it off the 81 level. So relative weakness in Square. This is one I will be on the short side of, but I want to get the next dip I can in Meta.
So, I mean, without planning this segment or anything like that, like that's exactly what I waited for right here was a dip into Meta. We didn't get our full default because we were waiting, like I said, for a better level, which was down here. And I still have my bid here at 146.05 for a couple hundred shares that I wanted to take down here, but that never came through. So unfortunately, we just have a sub variant of that. And right here at 146.17 right now on Meta. So we are long on that one. Maybe we just get out at the top. Right, and Neil's laughing about that subvariant thing. I don't even know what that means. But
subvariant, like
I know what it means.
It's like a COVID term.
I know. That's why I don't know why. Maybe I just read
triggered.
Never. But it's a variant of my position, I guess. It's not the full position that I want, but it's partially the position.
I don't know why I thought
but anyways, right up to here, 146.80. So like that would have been a level there where we probably would have got them all out or some of them out anyways. And we might just do that again right now and call it sort of a day here on Meta. But look, up 3.5% if the market continues to rally. I called the market could possibly be up if we held over 12,000, which looks like we're going to do that. Could be up 3% today. It looks like I made that call when it was like 1%. So we're not quite there, and it's going to fail. I need to get up at least 2%. But hey, if the market's going to go, which I think it has a chance to do, especially after retesting 11,900, maybe we do take that out. So I'm going to wait on Meta for that. And there's my 200 period again. So we're right on. Like everything is fine. This is the trade that I want. Just wish we had more shares. It's Meta to the rescue right now. Nice upside right there for that name. So. All right, that's the roundup right now, and we can go on and talk a little bit more about things here. So yeah, the chips are getting a little hot as far as the market is concerned.
They are.
I just missed that pop up there on Shopify, 48.15. Once I saw that go up there, the market rallied a little bit there. I went right over, but missed it. So unfortunately, it's right back in. I'm not going to take another piece out. I'm actually out now of about 2/3 of this trade. It just kept barcoding here. So 07s and 08s, I took decent piece out. Then right there at O's again, when I was thinking it was breaking lower again, we took it out. So now we're going to watch out. That's 47.90 right there. If we're going to remain, in the sort of zone of what we're trying to do, then yeah, 47.80s, like where are we in? We're in at 80. I think you just get out if it breaks that. VWAP is irrelevant here, even though I used it to break it. Remember what I said? It was more just like against this level right there. It just happened to be that VWAP is there. But when this sort of lines out and steadies itself out like that, it's not a great indicator at that point. It's just because it's just telling you the same thing over and over again, right? Like it's been telling us this since noon that this is the level. So now it's broken, and that's that. I would be more worried about Shopify breaking back down below this support level here. So that's what we'll wait for. If it breaks, what am I long at? I'm long at 82. We've just taken the majority of them out for 25, 30 cents. So we can hold a little bit back here to 80. So I'm just going to get out if it breaks it again down there, and we'll just go a little bit lower. So that's 73. So a break of 70, and we'll get out of Shopify. But maybe I should take one more piece out right now because we just went sub, and now we're back up to that level here on Shopify. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Take another piece out here. If it rips up into 17 or 18 again, then we'll be there. And then that helps us hold for just a little bit lower in case it does crash down.
So in the midst of everyone, I got square by the way, but I'm starting into that one. I want to give to like 50 to 55 on the short. If it breaks out through like 60, 65, I'll take the 81. I'll take 2 cracks at that because it's relatively weak. But the chips are hot. It was not in reference to the hot chip challenge. It was that you have the semis starting to pick up here. Now, not all of them are as strong. I showed you guys a chart of Intel. That doesn't look very good. But a chart of Micron looks very good. And I'm reminded of the fact that, well, Neil, what was the long that you had to start this week for a breakout? It was Micron, that's right. And where was its support level? Oh, yeah, that's right. It pulled back to 60, 50, and now it's breaking out from there. So broke out at 62. Not a good one because, again, held higher, rejected the breakout, reclaimed it, and now we have a double top at 63. You're above the 200 pre-moving average. Yes, you have overhead resistance at 65 on the daily chart. But last I checked, there's $2 between 63 and 65, and $2 ain't all that bad. So that does lead me to, if this market breaks out, I do like taking a shot long on Micron at a 63 break. The other way to play this, which I'm probably going to do both, is if we do get a dip and we start holding in here at 70, 75, look for a long in here. So if it does a dip, as long as the market can hold the top end of the range, maybe work into something beneath that level, but that 63 break stands out. We started the week here. It's not Friday yet, but we can try to end it. This is where I should have been today. I went to NVIDIA because NVIDIA was all the rage. It had such a big opportunity, I think, out there, and everyone was talking about it because of the ChatGPT. But then I forgot about the long that I started this week liking in the chip space, and that was Micron, much better. So I'm going to go back to back to basics, or whatever you want to call it, for lack of a better term. If we break the high, I'm in. If we do a little bit of a dip and consolidation, I can get in that way as well. And you know what? I'm going to put just in case CRM kind of does one of these flush things on me, I'm going to cancel this bid. I don't need that one anymore. I'll take 61s if I get it again. But I'm going to get a trailing stop on CRM here. I don't want this getting underneath like 162 quarter and then I give that much back. So I'm going to throw a trailing stop just to make sure this can't get ugly. I will buy the dip here, but I don't want to give it all the way back to 162. So leaving target up around 163.5, throw a trailing stop on it, and let's see if we can get Micron to the upside. Renata's asking me, what do I think of the Intel earnings report? Well, I don't know what it's going to be. So I haven't seen it because it's not out yet. And Micron just broke the high, so I am in the long. I'm going to be very interested to see, look, it's not going to be a pretty report. It's going to be about were their margins, could they actually improve their margins? I seriously doubt it. I actually think that's not going to be the case. But where are they going to be telling you? What are they telling you about demand? They tend to be very conservative with their guidance. So if they guide poorly, that's like really bad for them because, quite frankly, they're very, very conservative on that end. I don't expect you're going to see strong growth. At the end of the day, that's not really been their bag. So I'm more interested to listen to the call and see what they're projecting for the second half of the year, where I think it's going to be a better shot to be investing in them. I want to say I don't want to say Q3, but I kind of want to say Q3. I'm not all that optimistic about where they're going to go. But last time I thought they had a bad quarter, and the next day they shot to the upside. So maybe I'm just being too pessimistic. I do own Intel, and maybe that's why I'm not feeling all that great about it going into this quarter. Or, well, the end of this quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's you hit the nail on the head there about trying to predict something. I was pretty lucky yesterday when I sort of worked you guys through why I thought Tesla maybe had a great opportunity to go to the upside. So you got to listen to some of those reasons, and then hey, if they work, they work, and they did. And I talked about, the price cuts in Tesla should lead to higher demand, and it was all about what they were going to forecast. And those price cuts, of course, haven't even affected their numbers that you saw yesterday, because they're now going to be in the next quarter because of it was the Chinese price cuts there for Tesla. So very interesting there. All right, we're going to get out. We'll just go awesome on that one, because there it is right there, 146.18. I just said forget about it. Whether or not this move wants to continue to go or not, I mean, Meta's just off, man. Like, this is one of the best trades for me of the year, quite frankly, buying Meta in the $100 range. And now it's up to 146. I was banging the table for everybody here. Go search my Twitter feed if you want, all about where, that we should be buying Meta down at those levels. Now you're up to 146.50. It's a good trade, but it doesn't mean that, people could still be out of the money a lot on Meta, considering where this thing came from. What was the high, 400 something? Or maybe it's 380, I don't know, but Meta still. Huge move here over the last little while. Continues to make a move up. I'm just going to take the profit on that. Meanwhile,
money.
I mean, there goes Shopify, finally back up to the upside as we go. So there it is right now. We finally get that 16 fill. I told you we took an 8 fill, or it was a 7 fill there. And then we just went up to 16 right now and starting to go now on Shopify. So it's a 35-cent winner, but hey, that is for now partly out. Like, we don't have that many shares left. We have about 25% left of this, because we just got that number right there, and that was a pretty good area for us. Just on the chip talk again for AMD, well, I'm going to watch BuzzFeed in a minute as well. I know Neil took Micron, so we'll see if that works. I'm the same thinking here about taking out this high. That's AMD, so let's zoom this out a little bit here. So the difference between AMD versus Micron's up on the day, isn't it? It's a green stock, I think. Yeah, so
2.5.
2.5, right. So the exact same thing for NVIDIA is up on the day. AMD is not. So that's where I would have liked to, I'd like to have VWAP under here. We have the 50 period and the 200 period. They're all underneath. So that's good. Normally those are breaks that I like. What something move? Buzz?
No, that's
BlackBerry? Or,
no, Bed Bath &
BlackBerry.
Beyond. Yeah,
Bed Bath & Beyond, same company anyways. All right, is there news on this? Finally, maybe. Look at this. See ya. So there we go right now. We'll wait to see if there's any news right now.
It's halting
on
right now.
Bed Bath & Beyond. It is going to halt to the downside, and there it is. We do have a halt now on Bed Bath & Beyond. So it's a nice move down. We'll wait to hear from Brendan about news. Here he comes right now. What you got?
SEC filing, guys. Bed Bath & Beyond says the company is considering has considered all strategic alternatives, including restructuring debt under U.S. bankruptcy code, but they do not have sufficient resources to repay amounts under credit facilities. Again, that's an SEC filing.
Ooh.
So yeah, not a great report there. We'll see what happens when it opens up. Right now, halted at $2.73. That is Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do is, because we have 5 minutes.
Just get them for me.
I'm just gonna go get some locates for us, because we have to pay to short this if we want to pay. If we want to pay for the locates to be able to go to the short side. I'm just going into our system here. That's why I'm going over to the other side.
That's okay. I can do it. All right.
I can do yours. It's fine.
No, I'm saying you do that and I'll talk for a couple minutes, because then we have a system here where we have to go into basically our broker, which not our broker but our platform here by Day Trade the World, and they'll allow us to go in there and buy, or not buy, but purchase some shortable shares there. So let's go back over to Bed Bath & Beyond a little bit. There is the move downside. Let's just see what we're doing right now on the reopen. So the tap right now is 260. You can see that. So we'll see where that opens up. Let's just zoom out a little bit more here, maybe even on the daily chart. Oh, crap, we're missing too much data there. 238. Yeah, that's not going to be good. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to use e-signal here. BBBY. All right, so Bed Bath & Beyond here on a 20-minute chart. Let's just see. Okay, well below it. Let's go to 60 and see if we get some more data here on a 60-minute chart of what we might want to look at. 273, 250, 255. Yeah, I mean, once we open up, we're going to go a lot lower than this. That is 150. 130. I don't want to call a price now. I'm just trying to find out areas that if we do wind up getting short there off the open, where might we bounce? There's a lot of consolidation right here at $2, of course. And then look out for this one. I don't know. Look, sometimes companies declare bankruptcy or we get notes like that, and it's like off to the races, and it just goes back up to the upside. Party City was one of those names that went up for a while. Revlon, the same thing.
Revlon went like 3x at one point after their announcement.
Yeah, I think the difference with this is that the no sufficient funds.
This is a different story. And someone was asking why do we have to, they can just short with their broker. Look,
can we?
No, we can't, but most symbols are easy to borrow for us to day trade the world. But every now and then, it's all a supply-demand thing. There's not enough locates out there, and we have to pay. So we're paying 1.13 cents per share for every single share that we want to have the opportunity to. Now, however many amount of shares you get, we can then short that multiple times. It's just you can only ever use that one amount, and it's a fixed cost. Like whether you actually take a trade or not, we are going to pay for those locates. They used to call them, I don't know where this term came from. It used to be called bullets.
I think that was just a term like because you're firing the bullets.
Yeah,
like you need to load the bullets.
Yeah, you'd pay for locates on the stock, and you pay for get the bullet, and then you can short the stock. It feels like a weird sort of terminology to use. I don't know why they use that one. But while we wait for that to open, we have 2 minutes, I want to say. We have about 2 minutes to go. Just jumping back over. Look at this rejection. Like, okay, so I'm short square, that's working. But then the breakout on Micron, which I thought had $2 worth of room. So I'm trying to give it some room back in, but I'm not past 62.60. So this is the bigger picture. Lower high, this is 62.60. That is the only place for support that I want to add on a breakout because you're not holding it a dollar. Well, I'm not holding it a dollar against me. So it just came right into this, halfway there. If it makes a bit of a bid here, 75, I can add to it at that point, but I do not want to be holding or bag holding that. People are saying look at Tesla. Okay, I don't want to look at too many different names here because I want to focus on Bed Bath & Beyond a bit. Ooh, that just rejected a little bit. Yeah, we're coming down here on Tesla. I mean, it's not at a key level right now. 157 is the big level. 155 is the big one for Tesla if we can try to hold that. But my focus is going to be on the three things I'm holding and Bed Bath & Beyond at this point. Yeah. As a day trader, you acknowledge that sometimes something happens, and then for the next, we'll see. We'll know when it opens up whether it's worthwhile. Sometimes there's nothing there. But if it opens up and immediately tries to pop and fade off $3 without halting, that could be a short to pop situation. If it just completely rejects the open price, it's suggesting 260, there could be a play down into 250, and then every 25 to 50 cents can be in play for us. So, I'm going to be all over Bed Bath & Beyond. It'll be SSR, short sell restricted, because it's down 15%. Obviously, that's going to mean you can't hit the bid, but here we go. It's already opened back upside.
I put an order out. Why didn't I get short there? I'm trying to get short now. Wow. Okay, it is going back up to the upside here. Bed Bath & Beyond starting to go. That's fine for me, man. I'll go short if I can. Unfortunately, I cannot. There we go. Okay, now we are short.
You got it. Yeah.
I got short 61. I got
the same price.
Okay, good. So, all right. Let's we'll take a piece out here if we can. There it is. So we're starting to go short right now on Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's go to the downside right now for Bed Bath & Beyond. Here we go. We are more. Give us more. Halt again. Let's go.
Get more
get down to the downside here on Bed Bath & Bang right now on Bed Bath & Bang. A nice little move to the downside right now. Let's see what's going on here with this name. We still are short. I don't know what just happened there. I think I went the wrong way. All right, back up to the upside now goes Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's just watch out. What was that bottom there? 40s? Okay. We'll see what's going on. Now right back up to the upside here. So this is violent, and this is not violent. It's actually not that violent.
It's not that violent, but remember, it just bounced off 240. So the halt price of 270 becomes a tricky stop because I want to make sure that I'm not putting a stop above a potential halt band. So usually it's jam short, look for the halt prices, you're out. In this case, I don't even want to getting past a 270 here. I'd rather, you've already been paid out.
Yeah.
260 down to 240. Right? That's a great return. Getting greedy is not necessarily the way to go here. So I'm going to get a stop. I'm going to be pretty aggressive with my orders. I don't want this back above 270 because I don't want to get caught in a whipsaw move to the downside. That's your actual low. and then it goes halt up and recovers into 3. So there it is. I'm not giving it more than this, that 70 level there. I don't want it going into a halt, which it could do up here at 280. So I'm out looking for the next trade. If that's a wick top, I can always find another way back into it, and we'll make a secondary push in Bed Bath & Beyond. I did get some more shares of Micron. Oh my goodness, Square is I didn't even notice. Square is flushing. I got to get some out there. But my focus right now, Bed Bath & Beyond, but Square just made a flush into 80 as well. Was that
Brendo? I think it was Brendo.
Brendan?
He's moving downside. Here's GME, guys. Big flush through 20 there on heavy volume as well. Not seeing anything on GameStop.
All right, so we just got more short there on Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, I'm just watching this one because, again, it doesn't matter that we paid for the shorts, but this is the name that's sort of causing everything to kind of collapse in on itself right now. I didn't get out yet. I got more. So we'll see there if it does come up. I mean, I'm with Neil on the logic of, that it could halt the other way in any second. And so I'm going to get a piece out at 90, but I have to watch this because it could halt before 90. And then if I can, at that, it's not moving that quickly. So I don't know if it's going to halt, but there's a lot of size showing up here on the offer as this is moving around.
Right here.
So I mean, but it's just getting eaten up just as fast as it's getting posted there. So this name flying right now. I'm going to get some out at 290 if it breaks, and we'll deal with it then. Carvana. Let's just check in on another name that could possibly be moving on some kind of news like this. And we're going over to meme names right now. There it is. So there's Carvana with the same kind of action there that Brendan brought us with GameStop downside movement right now. But hey, Bed Bath & Beyond is the one that I'm worried about. It's the only one that I'm in. So let's see what happens right now with BBBY. It looks like it is trying to get upside right now. Halt be damned, it said to itself. But that's a nice move from 320 all the way down. I'm wondering if this is any material different news than what's already out there, right? So, this looks like we'll get hit here if it goes through 290. But, we'll still hold on to a little piece as it is falling back down a little bit.
Here.
I don't know. There might be sellers at this level. You might be right. I don't know, but here it goes right back up to the upside anyways.
Like I just got back in because every time, so it gets to like 280. So I'm seeing it made that next push up. Like I got stopped out here and it went to 280. And then every time it tries to get back above, it goes 3, 5, maybe 6 or 7 cents. And then it's boom, slam sell back down in. And you can see it's sort of dumping. And because it's SSR, short sell restricted, that's people long that are getting out because you can't slam the bid to go short without an uptick. That means when it's getting above that price, you're actually seeing people in long positions covering when it gets above 280. That tells me this is the right zone. I have 78s right now. What I would like to do is maybe sit in, like if it goes above 80 again, just sort of sit in front of 80 or above 80 and see if we can't get more shares above 80. But yeah, that's what I was seeing up there. And the key is that it was SSR. Like if it's not, I might get more down here. But the key is it's SSR. So when it's going above that price, that's not people getting short, clogging the short position. When it was slamming back down beneath 280, that was people long having to get out of it. And if it wasn't SSR, you wouldn't know that. Now it looks like it's going to work to the downside. So if it breaks any lower, let's see if we can get some in the low 60s out here. And this is all happening real time. If I'm talking too fast, I apologize.
I'm doing the same stuff right now.
I'm sorry, man. It's just, why is it?
I think you're talking pretty slow, to be honest with you. I think it's very clear.
Okay, here we go. It's now it looks like it's going to calm down and maybe go to the downside. But because it's short sell restricted, it's starting to move a little bit slowly because most of the selling now is people trying to go short. Like the longs already sort of dumped up here, and we'll see if it can get back down to that 250 level. I hope that made sense, guys. Brendan?
Just quickly, guys, this is the actual statement released by the company talking about some actions they can still take or attempt to take to improve this situation, but I'll focus on this last sentence here. These measures may not be successful. So it's a pretty dire sounding statement here from BBBY.
Oh, is it a halt again? Let's go, bang, right there. Neil and I reloaded that one. We never got out, so we just took a 62 fill there. Let's take another 63, as I don't know why I just went back up to the upside right there a little bit, but good out at 62. We now have half of the, we got way more. You can see my average price is now 70, so getting out at 64 is not worth it. But let's just see, we did put on more shares up here, obviously, giving us a much better average price. So that 250 was a mistake. That was actually a keystroke. I meant to buy more, or get out of some of the short, and instead I went more short there, but it just ended up my position, and then we doubled it up on the way back up here. So let's see if this can, there it goes, let's go. Let's see if this can continue to go down. My next bid is literally at 51, so let's see if it comes down. I'm gonna put something in the mid 50s. as well right there. And yeah, I mean, Neil and I will try to do our best to explain exactly the position that we're in and why we're in it and so on and so forth. So let's just continue to watch this, as I'm sure I'm missing something else on all of this, but we've made a good bit of money there on this move. So let's just see if it does continue down. That last update that Brendan gave us.
Yeah,
like,
if it recovers
are
from
you able
there,
to survive that?
Look, if at this point, if it reclaims 280 and there's buyers above that price, maybe it's doing the Revlon thing. You know, and that's where this is just too big of a bottom. So many people have jammed out of it. And quite frankly, if you look at what's been going on in the daily chart, you know, like the shorts have been, well, I'm missing a bunch of data on my daily. I think it's the same thing you were saying.
Exactly that. I couldn't find the levels, so I went to e-signal.
Not that you can't get a, maybe I'll just do this. This is my trade ideas. Okay, so this is my trade ideas. The shorts have been winning on this, okay? They're winning. It's my entire layout. I can probably just blow this up or whatever. They've been winning big time. So there might be some covering going on here, and that could be a bit of the picture that we're seeing and why we're not really flushing faster than we are down to that 250 level or that 240 level. So maybe that's the case. That means you don't necessarily want to give it back to the high, because like if it gets to 290, it's probably going to 3. So if it gets to 285, it's probably going to 290. Like I don't think there's a need to give it back to all the way to 290 or to 3 even. So that's the way I'm going to approach it here. At this point, it either slams back down, gives us a win into that 240 level, and I got bids all the way down here, or, you know, the bigger move was if you had it early, and we'll have to live with it. I do want to go back over and just talk about something else, because while we're getting distracted, or at least not distracted, that's not the right word, but I was distracted. Like I was getting into Square. It's like, okay, here comes Square into that 865. It slams down into VWAP. I was like, oh crap, Square. Get a couple of bids as it hits VWAP. Now I want to reload Square if I can over here, and then just pay attention to that move, because this could be a good one. If it's a lower high and the market's still at the tops, I want to see if I can get some more shares of, I keep saying Square, it's block. Look, I know it's block. I just always say Square. So I'm going to try to reload off this lower high and see how this can work out for us. So I'm back into some more Square, and then we can maybe refocus on Bed Bath & Beyond, which I got to tell you, if this thing just keeps on popping and dropping for the rest of the day down to like $2, I hope you enjoy.
We're going to shut it down, open up shop then.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Let's go. So now we're just holding on to the short. It's printing to the downside. Get it.
There we go, baby. Let's halt. Let's do this damn thing right now.
Get down.
Let's go. Get down right now for Bed Bath & Beyond. And we do apologize for how ridiculous we are. But at the same time, like this is what we're doing, man. We're excited when we can put through winners. We talk to you guys about the losing trades. We talk to you guys about the winning trades. And right now, look at Bed Bath and be destroyed to the downside right now. It's going down.
Hold it.
Right now. Halt.
It's halting.
I have something on the bid here if someone wants to get that. But it's not going to fill the bid. Or did it just fill the bid? Yes, it did. So I actually did get a bid there. So we are out at 37, and we are still holding that position. Oh, someone said earlier, oh, by the way, meanwhile, AMD there, I missed the buy through 75.10 because we were too infatuated. And that's why I said is that a good word, infatuated? You like that one, Sharif? Okay, I just got to double check that. But we were too infatuated with Bed Bath & Beyond there, and we missed a call that we just made about 5 minutes before, and that was the AMD long 75.10, so I'll have to pay a little bit up for that. We're long at 16 now. I am going to put another bid a little bit below to see if we can get a better average price right now, but I will also put a bid at 10s as well. So hopefully that'll come down, and we also have a 7 there. And again, if this fails out on AMD, I'm honestly, man, like 74.9, like I just don't want to get involved in all of this again. So there's the 50 period, 74.97. Let's see if we can take that. That's where we really should be short right now about all of that. Oh, and then the story was I wanted to go over
GameStop. Sorry, go ahead.
If you want to talk about GameStop, that's cool, because I was going to actually say a story. And that was that so I said earlier that I haven't got shut down in like 12 years. Well, there was one that one day I lost $10 million. So that day I did get shut down.
That was a tough one.
Yeah, someone brought that up in the chat, or I think they tweeted at me and they're like, there was that day I lost $10 million. You are right. That was a bad day. But we recovered from that.
Actually, I'm trying
And the reason why I wanted to show that, if you come to my screen quickly here, Brad, is because of this.
Yeah, but that's...
So when I didn't lose $10 million. I think I actually made money once they correct. No, I would have lost because it was the upside. Okay, so anyways, probably lost $100. It was nothing. I don't even remember the stock. I think it was AMC. Okay, so
it was AMC because that was the day that the halts were. The
halts weren't working.
There was a
on our
technical
system.
glitch in our system.
Yeah,
and
yeah. So anyways,
it's kind of funny.
crazy.
Actually.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't funny.
Not that funny.
Okay,
but because then I was shut down and I had to go into sim mode for you guys. And then when you make winners in simulation mode, it just pisses me off even more because it's like, now I can make money in fake mode, but get shut down in real mode. But this is what it was. So look, see, our system puts these extreme prices out there. So there's nothing that Neil, myself, or anybody could do. And our system said, uh-oh. Like, for example, right now, if I have 500 shares, it's going to think that I'm, like, losing right now. To be quite frank with you, it's showing me down like $4 million right now. So it's not actually hitting me out right now. So that's going to be the issue. But look at the tap, Neil. Tap away. 205. Right now, 205.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
So those of you that asked if I was negative on the day, yes, I am. But let's see what happens here with Bed Bath and be gone to the downside. Look at this, AMD, nice little take again. We're long at 11s. It's at 19. Let's get some out, guys.
Yes, sir. And we have, how much time do we have? Okay, we have like a minute or so before we open. Assuming a 5-minute halt, we have a minute or so for it to go.
I got to get my order
But it's not the only thing. Like, look at the drop there in GameStop. Now, I'm not going to pay for locates to go short GameStop when Bed Bath & Beyond is trading. What's the point, right? So, if you have this, it's almost as clean. Like, it popped. You can almost use Bed Bath & Beyond as like the meme stop, squeeze stock, futures, or whatever, like an indicator. So as long as that continues to drop, you have $20 as your level there. Jake Fair, thank you for the super chat. 10 million drawdown. What type of size do you work with per position usually? The way it works is like every trader has a daily loss limit and they have an amount of buying power. Those are two separate risk controls. Like it limits the amount of shares you can take, but then you can't go past your loss limit. So you can get into a position that can draw down a ridiculous amount because they have huge buying power, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's your daily loss limit. That's how it'll work at any prop floor that you go to. So we're looking at 306. Did I read it wrong? Yeah, never mind. I said 1 minute. I should have meant 2. 306.5 is when Bed Bath & Beyond is going to open up. It's now indicating 210 for the resumption price. I don't want to get out on the reopen. What I'll probably do is throw a trail for half of this at 250. It's going to open up at 210, which you can't even see there. No, sorry, 250. 235, that whole price. So if it opens that low, I'll probably get some out in front of 2 even. And then going back over to just one other thing, because I do still have Micron. Shop's good, but Micron, I reloaded. If it breaks 60, I am out. This is like break the high of the day or it's going to suck. And the futures, just to go over one more thing.
Shopify.
Yeah, the futures are still, the NASDAQ at least, sorry, the NASDAQ still holding at those highs. So there's a very good chance if we don't break the top, there's only one other way to go here. Well, I suppose we can go nowhere. That's either down or nowhere. I'm kind of hoping we don't go nowhere, though.
Yeah, me too. I don't want to go nowhere. The thing is that now the tap, so I don't know. I thought I explained it okay. Like the reason why I said that 4 million mark is because of this. Like it told me it thinks I have to pay $4,500 per share. So that's that's the difference. That's all that it's saying. It's not that we're actually down that much. Okay, so AMD, good thing we got those out. Some of them out anyways. We actually got out of a third only. So as AMD drops back down, we're not going to average in, but we are getting very close to getting out of this one as the NASDAQ as well is bleeding down a little more than I thought maybe it would. I don't know if Bed Bath & Beyond is dragging this or not. I would say no to that because we're going to get out right now on a break. So there it is, 94s. We break through 94. We're going to get out. It should trigger out that. So we just got very close to getting, here we go. Now we're going to get stopped out. There it is on a 94 break. So now we are out. We just punched 94 and got out. That better not have been the bottom there. So a little bit of a loser there, a little bit. Not much, but still it is a loser. So, we can't be long at, what were we long at, 11s on average there and get out some at 19, a third of it, and then lose the rest. We lost another 15 cents there, so that didn't work. I mean, look, when I'm trying to play breaks long and it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's that. I guess you're wrong on the time again because
it could be a 10-minute halt.
Could be a 10-minute halt. So.
Or, you know what, actually, let's confirm exactly. It's probably a volatility halt, but you can always just go to NASDAQtrader.com, and then you can see, okay, so it is for sure It's LUDP, that's going to be a volatility halt. If it's not 5 minutes, it's 10 minutes. That's how it works, with the notable exception of that ridiculous day where Funware halted for like an hour, despite the fact that it was, I say it every single time, because I still don't know why Funware was halted for an hour when it was a standard just volatility halt. So we're going to have to wait another 3 or 4 minutes. That's absolutely fine. We can wait around for that. While all this was going on, oh yeah, the market's still trading a little bit here. So remember Meta? Well, I didn't forget Meta. This is on my 15-minute. I'm going to show you. There's your dip. That's 145.75 on Meta. I just grabbed a long in front of 46 here. So I'm going to risk about 30 cents, maybe add one time in front of this dip. And if the market breaks out, then I was able to get Meta on the dip instead of the break. Breno?
More on Bed Bath & Beyond here, guys. JP Morgan, the first of probably many to come through with a warning on default for interest payments for BBB. Why, guys?
I just
right, and then so they have an interest payment coming on the 1st.
Yeah, and
so
they're not going to be able to make it, apparently.
Yeah, they're not going to make it, so.
We'll see what's going on here. I don't know if we talked about this. Did you talk about this super chat for $5 here? I just started trading real money this week,
no,
and maybe just I don't know. I didn't even see this, and I was talking about sim mode versus not sim mode. But real money this week, I had a problem. You know what? I'm going to get back into AMD just quickly here against 74.89. That bottom that was just made right there. We'll see if it goes up from now. But I just started making real money this week. Sorry, that's still Meta. I like that 146. You grabbed it, so that was a good one. I had no problem making money in paper trading, but I'm already down 600. What's your advice? I mean, honestly, the idea would be is that if you turn yourself live from paper trading because you were an aggressive a profitable trader, Sawyer, then I would just say, hopefully you've done your research. You know what made you successful, what setups you were looking at, and as long as you transfer, I would always say for me, you know, like when we were training traders and things like that, I mean, I think you got to go at least 7 out of 10 days as a positive trader before you actually consider to, you know, even go live. And then even when you're live at that point, less shares. So I don't know if 600 is a lot to you or not, but that to me, that's a little bit of a lot considering if you just went positive. But that's why we don't really talk too much about net here, because it's the process that we're worried about, right? So my advice would be, it's a completely different mental game when you're live versus trading and simulation, right? So anybody can make, I think one day Neil and I made, or you did, I think it was like, what, $58 million or something in sim mode. You know, it's just
that's a great story for one of these days, because I was testing out the futures in sim.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, you know, and when
it was fun, man.
The idea would be behind all that is more the fact that, okay, make sure that your process is what I want to get at, Sawyer, is the same in live mode that it is in paper trading mode, so simulation mode, right? So just make sure that that's what you're doing. And then look, you're going to have some bad days. I'm red today, you know, third day this month red. So does that mean that, and you know, if I'm down 600 today, does that mean that we come back tomorrow with the same kind of strategies that I have today? We could be up 600, right? So every day you're never going to be perfect. They say a good trader, like I just gave you, 60 to 70%. If you can have winning days on those days and your risk to reward is properly aligned, then you will be able to make money on this as a job. And then I just wanted to go over one more chat. I just saw it there, the $10. I don't know where it went. I'll try to find it again. There it is right there. Oh, MLGO. Okay, we can look at that, Houdini. We're open on Bed Bath & Beyond.
So it's back open, and it's still going to the downside. I'm going to get one leg out in, not a leg, but I mean.
I'll get a leg out.
Yeah, okay, you guys know what that means. Though. But it's trying to bounce off $2 here. So, yeah, I should have just taken something at 210s. I'll try to go 220s just to get something in this little bit of a rush. But I don't want this getting back above each halt price. If it does that thing it did last time where it kind of broke up, and then you see it reject 250, come back down, then the same trade we got in here before, we can get out and try and do that same thing overhead of 240. But if it breaks 240 and then continues through 250, I don't want to sit here and pretend like it has to go down forever. So you pay yourself out a little bit. There's all the reason in the world it could go to $1, right? But it doesn't necessarily have to do that today. Keep that in mind. We're day trading here. We're not swinging this. We're not holding this or anything like that. I don't want this getting past that 240 level. We can always get out and back in. That's just how it works for us. It's a big advantage to be able to make multiple trades. So, you know, I'm gonna wait for a break here. If it does not get through 250 on that break, I want to add to it with a 250 stop.
All right. So far so good on all this talk, man. Thanks, Neil, for that. We were able to get out on the low side there. So we actually had some good prints coming through on Bed Bath & Beyond. We got a 12, we got a 22, we got a 28 right there, as now it's starting to go back up. And I don't have many shares left. So when that opened up, I didn't have a market on open order, so we let it drop down, and then I'm not sure where it opened. Did it open at 35 there or something? And then
I couldn't tell. To be honest,
I could probably tell. Just zoom in right here. Yeah, so it would have opened up right here, 25. So it opened 25, spiked a little bit to 37. That was probably a dark pool, and then you saw it live here, floating back down right there. And there's my 13. There's my 22. There's my 28. And then right now we're just going to watch it here, see if it halts again. But if it halts this time, of course, it would be to the upside, which is more danger. So
all right,
I'm just gonna punch a little bit more there at 52. We're short at 80, so I mean it's it's coming down for that for sure. Right there.
It's going into uphalt. I just covered.
Oh shoot, it's in the uphalt. Yeah.
If it doesn't break 52 down,
it's not halting.
Oh, did I get faked out?
Yep.
Well, it's close. It's
going to halt again.
It's 15 seconds, right? So it gets to the halt band to the upside, and there's 15 seconds. Either it goes down in 15 seconds, or it halts to the upside. So once I saw it like piling up, like it was at the band, I just got out of it on that little bit of a break, because you can get filled on the bid. I got some 51s, I got some 52s. I had a bit of a reload in there, but I don't want to hold this all the way through when it could open back up and give you the 280 again. And if we get that short, that can be absolute gold. Now that we can calm down, someone had asked me if Micron is still long. As long as it can hold this higher low, yes. And the thing about it, we're running out of time. It's 3:15 already. When did this time is flying here? But the thing about this trade is you look at this breakout is still valid in the first 40 to 50 cents off that 63. And then when you go to the daily chart of Micron, look at the room it has. Your overhead resistance at about 65. So if the market breaks out from here, which is still a possibility, sometimes you actually have an up day where we're hanging at the high and you break higher. I know we don't remember those days because it feels like it's been forever. But if it breaks out from here, I want a strong stock where I can risk, in this particular case, I have a 95 short. I can risk about 30 pennies, and I think there's at least 50 to $1, if not $2 worth of room, if the market can break out. So Micron qualifies for that, but I'm not giving it more than that 35 to 40 cents. But it's worth that amount of risk. So to me, it's valid till it gets to 62.60 as a breakout trade. I wouldn't hold this. If you were swinging the stock, okay, fine. You'd probably swing it to at least a 200 period moving average, but I'm day trading it. I'm holding it to here, right? That's my trade. I'm basically in around here. I mispriced that offer. That is supposed to be at 63. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Micron?
Yeah, mispriced an offer though. When it breaks back out, I want to relieve some pressure because I got some back at 80, but I want to have my stop down here at 62.6. I think we'll be a 5-minute halt on Bed Bath & Beyond, but if it's 10 minutes, you guys know the drill. And then back over to Square, I want to update this position. Block. It's right back up to this 80-60 area. We're close enough to it. So I'm going to rinse and repeat. Short here, out in front of VWAP. That's been working this entire time. I know we haven't been covering it. I got back into it and I got out of it and then didn't say anything, but that's because of Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, a little bit distracted, but we got back into, again, this is the frustrating thing about it, and this just goes over to what you were saying there, Sawyer, or what I was saying about your comment there. It's we got stopped out and then it only wicked down there. So we were let's get back in on that little wick. And there it is back up to the upside. So this is why trading with us here can be difficult to follow us exactly because of how fast we can be on changing up things and getting back in and out. So right now I'm long. Pretty good. I mean, it's whatever. It's 15 cents in the money as we're holding this long now on Advanced Micro as the futures are getting ready to go up more and more and more here as that continues to go upside. So watch out for a high break right now of 12.070. Cannot believe that we called that basically that bottom of 11,900 and it wasn't even here. Look at, we were here, I guess. It was 10:20. Well, that's 11:27. That's right. So now I wasn't here after the show was over. Just sort of decompress a little bit. But you could see here, I wasn't sitting there and should have been. So that was a great move to the downside there. Now we'll have to watch to see if we can retrace up a little bit higher. One more time, I'm sitting at 19 right here. So that's going to be a good one. It's too bad. I mean, it's great that you have it. It's too bad I don't, though. Meta down here. I was waiting a little bit lower into this nonsense there on Meta, but 146 was a great pickup. Good thing we got out up there at 65 when we did. We went 17 to 65. So let's see if we can get back. I was checking in on Meta thinking Neil was already up there. So considering what the futures are doing, I thought it would be higher.
They be ripping.
Right now on Meta. So is there a name that you guys, look, I mean, we can look at Cause M and all this kind of stuff now for you, but I don't know. I haven't looked at it all day, but up 8% and just fading out right now. I think all the action, guys, is on AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond, GameStop. We just talked about Carvana a little bit. All down, all back up. They're all pretty much going to look the same. So let's just wait to see. Bed Bath & Beyond should open up very, very soon.
Before we go to Brendan,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
You reminded me, and again, I apologize because I know I was in and out of block in the same range, and I got the dip buy in Meta. It went one level up. I just took the scalp trade. I'm going to be back on the bid here just to give a higher time frame look. I'm looking to buy the dip off this level, take some out here, take some out at the high of the day, and see how far it can go. But we're going back to Brendo.
Just on an interesting note, not really a reaction from this, but both Uber and Lyft, maybe even Tesla on watch here, guys, on this note. New York City to require Uber and Lyft to go 100% electric by 2030. So good move for them, but interesting for Tesla, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I remember when, you missed it. It was Uber and Lyft trying to go electric.
Oh, okay.
So I remember that when it was Hertz, if you guys remember Hertz, I think they put an order in for like 100,000 Teslas or something ridiculous. It never got confirmed or anything like that. Maybe, okay, Bed Bath & Beyond now reopened there. We'll look at Uber and all that, and I think Brendan nailed it right on the head there with that commentary that I think that would benefit the cheaper, like the Model 3s and things like that. Obviously, that's not going to help out Lucid or anybody. Well, maybe it will. I mean, because Uber does have the different tiers. Like we took the SUV yesterday to the outing, and there's different comfort levels and all that. So maybe there is a level. Okay, here we go. Nice little flush down there on Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm just going to get out just quickly here. I know I said I'd have a 19 waiting. I still do. We just took a 17 out there on AMD. Back over to the action. Bed Bath & Beyond just faded down to, what was that, 46? I'm not going to get out until we break this 290.
What's wrong with my
chart? You don't have an open there?
No, look at this. I have these weird prints up
to remember,
like
I have some of those filters that you didn't use, so maybe we could go over that after the market.
Yeah, you show me after.
So I don't know. But for right now, 260. So what we're trying to do is filter out some of the bad prints. So I have a couple filters in there. I'll share them with Neil. But that 240, 230, I think I'm going to put a bid here at 230. Let's just see if it falls down there. My out's 290, but I only have now about 20% of the big position, decent sized position that we had during the chaos early. So I would put a bid at 230. If it hits, it hits.
So the actual high is 260 on that move then, right? Because if it's 260, then I want back in beneath the 50 level and then have just sort of jump back in here. Because I have some of these dark pool wicks. Actually, what I think happened is there were prints that were going off in the bad prints that were going off in the halt. And that's why I'm seeing those. But 260 looks like it's the actual top there. So I'll try another shot at it. Oh, by the way, we're getting a bounce. There's big volume on Intel. We'll get to that in a second. But obviously, I'm watching this one. Oh, it just jammed. I'm going to be in and out pretty quickly of this because I think there's big moves to be had. But I don't want to be giving it all the way back up because I think the better opportunity might be if we see like 280, 290. I want to save some bullets for that. But I don't want to. We can't ignore this. Intel earnings, I know someone just asked me a few thoughts about it, and I put in the chat, and I wasn't overly bullish on Intel and what I thought was going to come from the quarter. However, we can't ignore how strong it's getting in here, but this rejected the 30 level pretty severely up here, so I want to see what happens if it gets up to that 30, maybe cleans into like 10s or so. Can it sustain that move? At this point, I'm kind of betting it's going to have a little bit of a rollover. I just feel people want to be risk off a little bit. And if that's the case, there might be a chance to, if the market reverses, to not dump this one, but definitely sell a little bit. I just got some more of Square, so back to my 3-minute chart. Same level, we're getting it right in front of that 80.65. I'll zoom in so you can see it better. Each time, we're just kind of letting it glide to the upside. When it slows down, pop the offer, get filled, get out at VWAP, rinse and repeat until it stops working, because if this market does what it's doing and continues to do so, it's going to stop working. This will not go forever if we keep making fresh highs in the futures. If it breaks out the top, I'm out of block, and then hopefully cashing in on Meta, which, come on, why aren't you with the high of the day,
That's
Meta?
what I'm saying.
I'm in the wrong stock.
For you.
I'm in the wrong stock.
Look,
this is the NASDAQ.
That is fine.
This is the NASDAQ. I'm sure the ES looks the same. And I'll throw that back over here. And Meta, lower high. So what's going on? Is it Google? Google's doing absolutely nothing. Is it Microsoft? Yeah, it's Microsoft. Microsoft is along. Anybody long in Microsoft, I'll go congratulations for you. This is the name that's going right now. So Meta, hopefully Meta can follow. I shouldn't say hopefully, but I really want Meta to follow. It's on a lower high when Softy is just grinding. I mean, grinding in a good way. Grinding either way. That's a great song. So this is a strong one to be in here today. I guess we should have sniffed this one out because it's actually breaking high and very linear movement to the upside. I have Meta. I have Micron. I wish I had Microsoft, but I don't. It's slowing down like everything else, but the futures are so strong right now. And it's been a while since we punched through at the end of the day that you could just have a bit of a consolidation and then continue higher. That's what I'm looking for, but at least I have something short. And if the market does flush, I think this could work. If you're watching Coinbase, this is probably a little bit better, but I'm already into Square. I noticed this too late when someone said Coinbase is weak in the chart. I'm like, yeah, I was already into Square and I missed this move. So much weaker name here, Coinbase. It could turn red as a matter of fact, but I don't want to chase anything short at this point.
So I shorted more Bed Bath & Beyond up here at 66. So whoa, I have a bid at 53. Go, yes sir, right there. So we'll go bang on that trade as Neil was talking there. We did short that name one more time. So there it is right there. We just got short into a level that, I'm just doing the same kind of work that I always do, looking for key levels. I just thought 70 was one of those there. That's where, remember Neil said, it halted at 73. So that was a level there to look at, 73. We do that, and that's where it bounced off of. So I just let it fall back down a little bit and got 66s. So, good trade there, as our average price is 73. So now we just have a blended price from all of this. So let's see now where it goes, as there goes the market finally back up to the upside. So I'm kind of in the same problem with you, and I was like thinking to myself, like, okay, at least now, we both understand the problems with being in names that just aren't going while the market's going, and it's frustrating to be like that, but that's part of the market, and that's what's going to happen. So for me, here comes AMD. I'm still offering, I'm not offering 19s anymore because we got filled up there at 19 right there. So maybe I'll offer it again, but you know what? Let's just let this ride now into the close. It's a good long, I think. It wants to go positive right now. Obviously, when I look over at names that are more aggressive, AMD just goes 196. Those cough buttons don't work, but 196 to the bottom, all the way. It's still a good try.
Yeah, good reflex.
Good job there. I don't think people heard it anyways. 197.30, so that's up $1 since we've got this AMD trade. So hopefully this now can go and play a little bit of catch up on this name. So that's what we're looking at right here. And by the way, Intel, a name that
ketchup chips at home.
we should still be in, that we're not, because it took out 50. Intel, if I just bought Intel, off that, it's basically the same break, just breaking right here, that level right there. And I pick AMD breaking 75, and then this one breaking 29.60, just give you 30 cents on AMD, which is 1%. So it's a nice move back up to the upside for AMD. And guess what? Just rejected again on the upside there. Bed Bath & Beyond tried to get going one more time, and this time it stops at 60. Last time it stopped at 70. So hopefully we can get below 50 and create some new bottoms there. And again, this is not a commentary. I know there's a lot of people that are long Bed Bath & Beyond. I still think that you're going to wait for aftermarket right now. We've seen these names go absolutely crazy aftermarket. So get ready for that.
It can happen, but what's happening now is the futures are breaking higher. So we're at fresh highs on the NASDAQ, and I'm just double checking the ES, because I've been showing you guys the NASDAQ. The ES, that magical, it's not really magical, but that high that we saw this morning, they rejected 40.70 or change. We're right back up at that top. This is incredibly bullish, right? All that selling off, a rejected high, reject the low, and now you have a chance to break out and go 2% on the NASDAQ, 1% on the ES. We're not there yet. It just broke 63 on MU, and then did a wick top on me. So it did a wick top and then came back in. Now Intel's very strong, so I'm going to make a bit of an adjustment. Well, not much, but I'm going to reload, and then every time it gets up here until it breaks, what I should have done in Alibaba when it didn't follow through, which is start playing if this is the range, take the 25, 30 cents until it goes. I didn't do that with BABA yesterday and just sat in the long looking for the bigger move for the entire last 45 minutes of the show. Now I'm going to actually take this scalp trade over and over again if this is what it wants to present me, I should say. So I'm going to go longs in the 70s, add back in, and then get some out at the top at 63 until it decides it wants to go. Meta, still a bit of a disappointment. It's in the money, but it's not really going the way everything else is. And block, we got the reload. I'm going to go back for my 15-minute because I'm trading this one off the 3. Missed the bid because I put the bid in and it bounced off. Sometimes that happens. I was like 2 cents away. But it hasn't really blown out the top just yet, but it's so close. I should have got some out there, but sometimes you place a bid and you miss it. That's what happens if you're passive. You can always cross the spread, pay that 1 cent, and actually get the fill, which you should always do if you're paying closer attention to it. So aggressive orders, typically speaking, when you're trying to piece out, can be the way to go. You pay a fee for it. I'm just adjusting a stop here because I want a tight stop. Market is too strong to give this room above this level. Like when it rejects me here, it's probably going to go lower high, or higher low, I should say. So I should get a bid down around like 50 or something. Get a little bit more aggressive in terms of where I want to get this out. If it does come down, not wait for VWAP to get the entire thing. Bed Bath & Beyond, it's almost like this 250 level has turned into like a kind of weird support. I want to catch a short up here. I mean, these halt levels are like that 73, but I want it to, I'm like, pop. Give me a pop so I can go rubber band action. That's what I didn't do last time, or just completely reject the 250 level, which can also work. I want the market only to come down enough to get me out of square, but overall, I want this to run so we can get this Meta and Micron all the way till 4 o'clock, or well, 3:58.
All right, guys, let's go. I just put a question in the chat there. I don't think anybody, that's funny that see me, see you chat there. You can't even remember yesterday, let alone Jan 3rd. Does anybody remember the 2 names that I came with on January 3rd for possible good trades heading into the new year? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to put them in the chat, and then I'll discuss both those names after. Okay, so AMD, I just tried to get a 13 there, and then it dropped down. I mean, I don't know, 13 kind of a random position, but it is falling back in now. So, yep, I guess it just doesn't want to go. Our out on this, as the 50 period continues to climb, I was still giving it to 94. Let me just make sure that I have that order properly set out there for a 94 bid. I had some Tesla ideas. I'm going to cancel those now as it's already 3:30. So we'll wait on some of those Tesla ideas. But just for AMD, because we're getting it back in right now, let me have a quick look at this. Yeah, exactly. 94, 95. We'll try one more long because it's here. Well, now the futures are pushing back down a little bit right now. Yeah, let's try something out around here at O's, and we'll just put on some shares now if we can get them, and then we're going to get out if it breaks back down below. So we're going to go 74.89, and I'm just putting the order in the system right now for this 74.90 break. We'll get out just to see if it, I mean, we know it's kind of weak right now, but the fact that it's at these levels, we'll see if we can play with it a little bit. Hopefully it'll give it to us, and then if not, that's fine. Hopefully it'll just go back up to the upside, and we'll deal with that. Right now, I don't know. I'm just going to move on. I don't even checking the chat. But we talked about Nike on that day, January 3rd. That on that day, the price of Nike, I think, was 10, no, not 108, was it? Right here, Jen. Oh, yeah, our charts are bad. Nike, I'm just going to call it up here, and we'll look at it quickly on eSignal. So Nike today, there it is, 117 up to 130. Today it hits a new 52-week high. That's Nike. The other name that we had for you on that day on January 3rd was Starbucks. Now there's going to be other names that are probably up way more than this, but these are pretty two easy names. I talked about China and everything like that and what we thought about Starbucks heading in to the new year, so on and so forth. Well, that day we were at 100 or I don't know, whatever this goes back and forth. But right now today, and again, it's not a huge move. It's just up to 108, but that's another name that continues to work. And look at this, coil up and breakout on the daily right now for Starbucks. So both of them are up about 10% this month. So, you know, just we're letting you guys know that if you were in on those trades, 10% in a month ain't bad for some of those names, as Nike, of course, now trying to pull back. Okay, we'll go to small cap in a second. I just, you know, right here, I just want to talk about Bed Bath before we go because it's, I don't have any more bids. Like my next bid is in the 30s. So if it breaks this 50 level, let's see. It's really 47, 48, but it's bouncing around now. I still think that you're just one trade away now from seeing somebody on the offer, stacking, and then just following it down like we saw before. So let's wait to see if that happens as we're going to go right now to small cap recap at the big desk with Brendan.
Yeah, we'll make it a quick one, guys. There wasn't much to look at in small cap land so far today. We were dealing with a few, though. If you joined us in the pre-market, we discussed with Louis from Barcelona, Day Trade the World office over in Barcelona. This one, MLGO. Talking about that day high with Lewis that came into play, not only off the open, but on that second push as well. Remember, this was a 850,000 free float. So had the potential to squeeze, and certainly it did, all the way up to 360, 375. Wait for the backside, though. It works pretty well. On the way back down, we get a nice chance to fade. Going to be a red name for me, though, on that stop out. Back to day highs for MLGO. Yeah, if you missed the long initially on BuzzFeed, I was away from the desk, but starting to come back in a little bit now. Maybe let's see what happens with 2 here for BuzzFeed. But what a move that was as well on that Chat GPT note this during lunch, guys.
You know what? For 2 things. I'm going to go over BuzzFeed in a second because it's a good learning experience, and I'll try to do it quickly. But I just got out of Square. Remember I said it looked like it was getting a little more aggressive to the upside, so we're getting VWAP, then you're getting higher lows. I missed that fill there. We'll take some out when it only gave you, I actually got 48s, they're not 50s, but then a clean stop out. Too strong right now, not going to fight it. We'll hold on to the 2 longs. If I short something else, it's very likely going to be Bed Bath & Beyond, which is not really setting up just yet, but I feel like that's going to be the next thing that I would look for the short. But BuzzFeed is a perfect example of when you catch a good move and you've got the winner, just walk away. So I shorted it. Okay, this was flat because of 1, then tight stop out. Then I had to short off of $2, and I remember when Luca was like, yeah, I think he walked away from it at that point. I did not. I jumped back and shorted the 2 again. It was looking good, and then this is the one that got me. When I saw this wick above to 222, and I doubled up here, I got the 215 short. It showed me 2. Instead of getting out, I added to the position without covering anything. Literally the worst thing you can do in that situation. Like, it just held higher, and I'm adding to it. That's a stop out to turn me red on the stock. You don't want to have that happen to you. It sucks because I could have just walked away when the 2 short worked that one time. I did not. It kind of sucked. But Meta, that's still going to the upside. Oh, look at that. Meta finally decided to want to get to the high of the day. I think I need to trail Meta out because it's kind of lagging this move a little bit. So if it doesn't break the high, we'll give it a shot to get up to 146.80. It kind of just wicked it there. I don't want this necessarily holding beneath 146.5. It took too long for this to join the move for me to assume it's going to break high a day.
All right, the market is coming back in a little bit now as we just got to 12.1 there. So, I mean, it's a big move up, man. It's 200 points from that bottom of 11.9, and it's just continuing to go up. So we're not going to be far off. Hopefully we do end the day up 2% or more on the NASDAQ. That'd be nice right now. So just an update on Bed Bath & Beyond. Now it's just gone back to its normal self again and not really moving too much. So we're going to have to start now respecting these levels. So, you know, we're still at 290 to get out. That's where VWAP is. That's probably not going to change, especially if the futures just keep, if the market just keeps doing this, the Bed Bath & Beyond market here, if that keeps, the Bed Bath & Beyond market, this name, if it just keeps on barcoding like it's doing here, back and forth 10 cents, these lines won't change, so we're going to respect that right there. It's small, like we don't have, like I told you, we did reload some there, but then we got out for 20 cents. Like that's a 66 and that's a 51, so 15 cents there. Now we'll see. What I wanted to get at was I'm now putting 54. So I just put, again, so if we have a full position right now, I'm going to put 25% at 54, 25% down here at 31, and then we'll see if the imbalances come out to the sell side, which I'm expecting they do. So that's another thing to look forward to at 350. Hopefully we're not stopped out or anything by then, because I would like to see a Bed Bath & Beyond sell imbalance, or at least the imbalance, so I can make a decision based on that. There it is. All right, so we'll go like this. We'll just go awesome, because we talked about it going to 54. It just went there. We got to fill, and we were on the BATS or ARCA gateway. So if you guys were there, you probably would have got it as well. Yeah, all right, so that's that. There's something else I want to talk about, but no, I can't remember what it was. Oh, we didn't review Softy. So again, I want to talk about this earlier about Microsoft, right? So we left it alone. Like normally we're all over Microsoft, but see, it comes into that 200 period right there. And again, I feel like the 50 period was down here, but maybe it wasn't at that time. We were just playing off this. And that also does coincide with that bottom of 240, 250. The problem is this happened real quick. Like this must have been the break of 12,000 again. It just cratered from 244 all the way down to 242, $2 in about 10 minutes straight to the downside. So unfortunately, we got stopped out here once it broke that level right there, that opening mark, to coincide with that bottom of 242.50. So we started going long around 240, 275 or whatever it was, 243. Then it came back down, but then we got out. But then we bought again and then bought again. So we said, let's hold it against 242. Because if that's a 12,000 break and it doesn't continue, then we should march back up to the upside. So again, remember, losing 50, 60 cents maybe on the maximum there. I think it was even less. But then look when it started to go back up, right? We're long at 242, 242.30. Then some of our first outs, 66s, 86. Now we're over 243. This level right there, 243.32, that's $1. 243.42, that's $1.50. And then as it continues to go up, and then our very last out is 245 off of a 242. So 250, right? So obviously we don't have a full default there. Still a nice trade back. Just want to give you guys, that was one of those examples that where you get stopped out, and then I foolishly, and you know, it didn't work on Tesla, but it did work here on Microsoft, which thankfully, if that would have kept going down, we would have been an absolute disaster. And look, Neil and I will never talk about each other's P&Ls or anything like that, but you guys know I'm red today. So someone just asked me that before I went on that little talk about Bed Bath & Beyond. So, you know, I'm red today, and that's that. You know, we're going to be as honest as we can about our P&Ls, and you guys saw from the beginning, a few trades just didn't work out for us, including Tesla, and then really it was just Intel and Tesla. Really,
it was chips and Tesla. It was NVIDIA and Tesla for me, which is interesting because it was like the chips didn't behave. We kind of
had the same thing there.
It was basically the same thing. It was one chip name and it was Tesla, and it is what it is. And that's going to happen to you sometimes. As my voice is, I actually at one point this morning I wasn't sure I'd make it to the end of the day with the voice, but hey, we made it. And we made it to the high of the day on Meta. Thank you, Meta.
Yes.
I'm already finished. I usually don't finish a full one of these, oh, you guys can't, you have to do this. Yeah. I don't usually finish a full one of these for the afternoon show, but I just did. I actually got to get more. But high of the day on Meta, I'm out of it. But you know what just happened? Micron did an opposite thing. It came right back into the support. I went to rinse and repeat, so I bought the dip again, but it's a severe dip. I'm going to exaggerate the volume on this, just so you can see. Look at the volume spike on that selling on Micron. All while, you know, Intel's been showing some relative strength. So that's while the market was trying to go higher. So I'm not loving this as much, which is why I'll be more aggressive as it goes to the top end of the range. Not a great sign. I'll stop out here underneath that 65, but yeah, not the best move there that I wanted to see on Micron. I don't want to ignore you, Microsoft. I know it's sort of gliding to the upside. I wish this would do something. Like, there's no dip to get in. There's no breakout to, you know, like sort of chase the momentum. It's one of the strongest names out there, and it's really not doing a heck of a lot up at this high. So it's pretty unfortunate. Meta has a chance for a top-end break, but I'm not really seeing it. And then the aforementioned Intel, it did reject very close to 30. I kind of felt it was going to get to 30 and maybe test a bit higher before shorting. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and I hate to bring this all roads back to Bed Bath & Beyond, but it did a bit of a spike there, and it's just not really following through. We're running out of time for it to make a really big move up to fade, like to 290 or something. I don't think it probably doesn't have it in it at this point. I don't think it's going to happen. It's really calmed down. If there's going to be a big move, it might just have to be after 4 o'clock, which sometimes that's how it is.
So Brendan just came with us. I don't know if we reviewed this. Maybe we did. Maybe we did not. The market on close and balance is actually increasing right now. So it is now, Brendan gave it to us about 10 minutes ago with 200 million. Now it's 400 million to sell. So it's 392, but you know, rounding right there. So at 350, which is approximately 8 minutes, this will come through and it will all reopen up. And you can see right here from 950, 930 was the last time we updated those because those are market on open imbalances that you're viewing right now. So please, I'm just showing this to you. This is not what's currently happening. At 350, this will all update. And if you're joining us for the first time, I hope it does blow your mind, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of traders that had absolutely, and this is some of the things that we got feedback on, had no idea of things like this at 350, that how much it can affect the market and your current position. So again, that's what our show's about, man. We talk about that all the time. Education education. Like, it's something that, Neil and I have definitely, paid attention to in the past, and there can be a lot of good trades off these imbalances. So because we're on this show, like, you have to be kind of quick when you're trying to trade these imbalances. So it can be difficult indeed to do that, but watch out for that. So we got stopped out again, so we'll flush ourselves down the toilet, but now we're back into AMD, and this time we're short. Let's go. Let's go now. If it didn't work to the downside the first time, to the upside, then let's see if the downside wants to work. So there's that short right there at 94. Our average price is 92 right now. Let's see if we have some, let's go. Let's see if we have some downside moves right now. 94s. Hey, look, man, we're a couple pennies in the money, and I'm not going to be like, too upset about taking profit. If in AMD, so just to talk about these imbalances, if AMD comes out a buy, this trade is dead, and I have no idea if it's going to be a buy or a sell. So hopefully in the next 5 minutes, like I'm talking like I'm that Micro Machine guy. Like, I don't know if you guys, this is how old we are. If you guys remember Micro Machines,
that's
the guy was like blah, 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 like crazy, and I had like a couple coffees.
That was
today.
legit.
I don't understand. I think we're just getting that extra boost.
Or you're
up.
talking fast like you're rapping Fushnikins.
Yeah, but I'm not rapping. But you are right there. There's a couple big pun raps fast.
But people think like BuzzFeed and those other guys that do like really
Busta
quick.
Rhymes, Eminem and God.
Just go back and listen to Fushnikins, and then you tell me who can really do it. Like they're Fushnikins.
Rap God is very fast. But
Fushnikins is where it's
You know
at,
what?
man.
There's probably a study, right, that says words per.
Oh, I'm sure there
bar
is.
or whatever,
Sure
and then there's like a technical.
They have one on the CB4 soundtrack, which was like, I just got stopped out of Micron. They have
Did
one
you
on
go
the
long or short Micron, by the way?
I went long on the break,
Okay,
but it's
good.
failing the breakout.
Okay, because I was just wondering.
This stock, it's going to depend on Intel earnings could shift this stock a couple of dollars either way. So I don't really know which way it's going to go. I do know that if you're still hanging out above that 62 tomorrow, I am going to be trying to work longs. That's just it. If it's above 62 and holding the 50 periods or the 200 period moving average, then I think there's a 62 trade up to 65. That could be breakouts, that could be dip buys, but I'm really just thinking long above that price, and I'd be thinking short on Micron beneath it. So I want to keep that relatively simple. Maybe I trade Intel, maybe I don't, but I'm pretty sure if we're around here that I'm trading Micron and looking for the longs. I forget the name of that track. It's going to come to me, but Fushnikins did one, and it was, he's doing Looney Tunes impressions while he's fast rapping on the track. He's dropping like...
Right, got it, yeah.
Okay.
Micro Machines were just so freaking good,
Brad
man.
saying, look at me now, Busta Rhymes.
Look at me now.
It's legendary.
Busta Rhymes has great tracks, but he's not the fastest.
Brad also said that he would try to do that one. Just throwing it out there, and he never did.
I'm not respecting Prad that much anymore because of that beat. Like, he took the beat off. That was one of our favorite beats. So, I mean, I need Prad. Prad, we need that beat back, man. We need that beat back.
Bring that beat back.
Roll it. What? You deleted the whole, it doesn't exist anymore? Come on, bro. That was like your key to success, man.
Yo, you know what? The chat's right about this. Twista was legit. If you're saying who's the fastest, Twista, I'm more like stylistically Fushnikins. And the track is called What's Up, Doc? Dr. Crusher. So check it out. What's Up, Doc by Fushnikins. Twister is the fastest, but to me, it's about, it's not just
you gotta have
speed,
style and
man.
flow.
It's style and flow too. Like Fushnikins, man. I'm just saying. Last move, that was legit.
Motion of the ocean.
Legit.
All right.
Where'd that come from?
Yeah,
nothing wrong.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I mean, right now we're just looking at this, and we can just because there we go, man. We went the other way there on, which is why I asked you about Micron. Just wanted to make sure that it was flushing
Intel's
as well
back
there, and Intel. So now that we get this double flush down right now, we are now in the money 20 cents. Sorry, I'm looking at it on another screen on AMD because I also watching Bed Bath & Beyond. Now the markets come back in. We do know that there is that sell imbalance. Now, nothing new. Okay, so the sell imbalance, it's very rare that I've seen Brendan update this. But it's getting bigger. So now it's 426. So it's not, it's incrementally, it's like 8% more than the last update that he gave us. So I don't want to call this, what it is. But for right now, we'll wait to see if that matters. But AMD right now, again, wrong, not right. Get short, and that's exactly what we did right now. So now it's 20 cents in the money. Look how easy. Like, I couldn't get anything on the way up. Like, we were really struggling to get all these prices, right? It was a good one, 97s, out 20s. So we did get 20 cents, and then we got some more out here. Held the last piece, got out, and then reverso short into that.
So very quickly.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Because we have 3 minutes to the imbalances, and I know the balances don't necessarily mean anything. Sometimes they're absolutely trash. But an increasing sell imbalance. I saw a wick top on Meta, and so what I wanted to do here was, this is the high into like 147.10 on that pullback, short it, stop above the top, and then on the imbalances, if it comes out like a bigger sell, top heavy, flush to the downside with the market. If it breaks out, I'm getting stopped out anyways. What I don't want to have happen is it breaks the high before 350. Like, ideally, I have enough room that it doesn't break the high before 350, and if it comes the wrong way or just decides to keep going, I get stopped out right at 350. But I'm looking for a retracement. I just happened to see Meta make a wick top up there, and I like that. I kind of, even under my breath, I was like, ooh, Meta could be a short right now. But it's a super strong stock, so I'm getting my stop in there. I don't want to get stopped out necessarily before 350, but I also don't want it breaking out on me, so I'm going to have stop at the high. I'm not going to put any bids out for a take profit, because if it comes the other way, I want to see the flush if it happens, and then sort of judge how far it's going to go from that standpoint. We have 2 minutes till those market on close imbalances do come out. Bed Bath & Beyond's kind of calming down a little bit. Yeah, if you're watching GameStop, I feel like that's probably calming down. So I'm just looking at the overall market and then Meta here. If I get stopped early, I might jump right back into it. Oh, there's the beat. There's the beat. I hear the beat.
You guys hear that? Can we hear it?
Can you guys hear it?
He's heating up. Yeah, man, we're heating up right now on our trading as well. Thanks, Brad. Let's cut it for now. We'll bring that back in a minute as the imbalances are coming. Can you guys hear that? Yeah, there it is. There it is. Let's go. Where's the drop right now? But there isn't one. All right. All right, let's cut that, Brad, because now I can't even think properly. Thank you for that. That was a lot of fun there. But Brad, there we go. I knew that guy didn't get rid of that, because that's the ticket.
You wouldn't
right there.
delete that.
Wait till Drake gets a hold of
by
that
the way,
beat, then we don't even have Pratt employed anymore.
Yeah, it never actually, the beat never drops on that, just so you guys know.
He needs someone to drop
it
something
actually
on
doesn't
that,
drop.
but that's like a great beginning.
That's the joke, is that it doesn't drop.
I remember we had Raider Trader on, and he was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, and then that was the end of it. Okay, so let's go, man. It's too bad that we're heating up right now, because we're heating up now. You know, I can see clearly now the fog is gone, because AMD right now to the downside, it's now pushing down. Again, I don't know why it took me this long to get short on this thing. We should have actually been short up here when we saw the relative weakness. So down we go for AMD. We just got a 70 fill. Down we go with Bed Bath & Beyond. Like I said, we're heating up right now, so let's just keep this going. Our bid's at 30, but with only 30 seconds to go right now, I feel like we should put a bid on here at 51. Well, it just took us out, so there's 51 out now. This is 30 cents in the money on Bed Bath & Beyond. Sorry, 20 cents in the money off our last short at 70, and there goes AMD. We also have a bid at 60 for AMD, so if we could take 30 cents, 35 cents, we will do that here on AMD. So there we go, baby. Let's keep this this party going as the imbalances, Neil, about to come out, so just keep it here.
In 2 seconds.
2 and 1. Let's see what happens. Bye-bye. AMD upside right there. Look at that. That was just at 66. So that ain't good for me, because we're short. Let's put a bid at 83. Maybe it does come down and fills us a little bit. Oh, there. We'll take some out there at the 200 period.
It's a bid.
Yeah, now it's starting to go back up. So you see the problem. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to see. Remember, I was like, it's not a guarantee which direction it goes. So I don't always take that trade. But Meta comes out, well, Meta was just here. Meta comes out a bid, Microsoft, actually a bit of a sell there. Tesla comes out a bid. I saw Apple comes out a bid. Amazon comes out a bid. PayPal sell, but that doesn't really matter. So overall, I went for that kind of like over-under move, short up that wick high, but I have my stop out. The way I see it is, okay, I know exactly where I'm getting out if it ends up, and it comes out 118 to sell. It was supposed to be 420 million. It comes out much smaller than that to the sell side, the imbalances. So we get to stop it at the high of the day. But as it was going, if it goes 1 billion to sell, Meta can come all the way back into 146. So I just like that risk to reward. Don't always put a trade like that on, but every now and then you kind of smell that it could be something. You take it. It ends up being a hit. So I could have just continued the trend on the long and the upside, but I just saw an opportunity with a bit of a tight risk there on Meta. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We'll stop a fail on that imbalance trade.
Oh, you know
so
what?
I'm done for the end of the, well, unless something crazy happens, I might not put anything new on there. Go ahead.
Listen to this thought. Can we somehow get that beat into Chat GPT, and then it will either create a drop for us and or put some lyrics on that? And then, you know what I'm saying? Like
So
maybe it's like, Chat GPT listens to it and it's like, oh man, this is like fire, but it's just missing this one thing. And then it puts the drop in
So the
there,
question was, so I'm not like
that would be sick.
I'm not an expert in like coding but there's got to be a way that you can take like actual like musical notes and translate that into some kind of text and then say this is the text and then have it like, it's almost like it's continuing the story or continuing the pattern, and it would figure out how to do it. There's probably a way to do it. I'm not that smart, so I'm not sure how you'd pull it off. But if anybody knows how we could, then we need to make sure we do that. I love that idea. I'm just not sure exactly how that would work.
Oh, come on, Tesla.
What happened to Tesla?
Nah, but I mean, let's just pretend it's 9:30 again.
Oh, for the love
All
of...
right, so here we go. We're gonna go long
there's
at
a
160.
huge offer at
I mean, I
160.
can't believe there's a.
Level
we're all
two,
the way
level
back
two.
here to 160.
Pull down to 160. No, go to his.
What do you mean? I'm here.
160.
There
was just 300,000 on the offer. It was a monster level.
Yeah,
at
but I mean, it's
160.
done 225 million, but still a good spot there. I wonder if it's on the imbalance locator. I was just making fun of it because honestly, like all this crap all day for Tesla I mean, here's 930 right here. This is not, I mean, this is the 930 print. Where's the opening print on Tesla? It's probably right around here. So 159.80. Wow. I mean, I feel like we just did all this. And shout out to Luca because he already called this the best name, Stressla, there today. I thought that was a great name for it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of stress apparently for absolutely nothing. If I just closed my eyes, I would have been down basically nothing here on Tesla. We took that trade, so I still would be long about 160. I'd wake up now out of my coma and be like, oh yeah, look, I'm down $1. So that would have been okay, and we would have been a lot less damage than we did on our P&L by simply trading it. So
sleep is an option instead of saying coma.
Oh man, no, I just mean like if I just like
I know what you
yeah, hopefully you mean maybe that's a little
there's
hard.
levels to this.
That might be a little hard. Okay, so AMD, just waiting for it. It did pop up on that. I didn't see it on here, but there it is right there. So AMD has a buy. We'll see if it does pair off right now, but there's AMD. I'll just move it over so you guys can see a little bit, but I just wanted to see my 1 minute chart. So we're gonna wait to see what's happening, but Google's there, Amazon's there, Apple's there. That's a buy, that's a buy. Google, of course, we know is weaker, so that's a sell. Look at the action on that sell right there. Look at the action on Apple's buy, moves up, now coming back down. So I'm hoping the same thing happens there for AMD, where we get that move up, and then at 355, when there is a major change in these imbalances, another update comes through with a major one. So hopefully that flips it the other way, because within 30 seconds, I'm going to get stopped out if it breaks through 75 or so. I believe that's where my stop is. Yeah, so hopefully we can withstand this next couple of seconds, and then we can get a flip. The next thing you know, we'll be getting out in the 70s. That is my perfect storm.
The perfect storm. So here's the level. It's actually getting chewed up right now on Tesla. So somebody is dumping, and they've gotten about 200,000. Now it's going through. So someone just bought and sold about 250,000 shares of Tesla. However, it doesn't hold the level. Like it gets above and rejects it. That's probably not that bad. It's so late in the day. That's the problem.
All right. So there it is.
You know what? I'm not.
Yeah, AMD didn't flip, by the way, so we just got out of that one, which is okay. That's why we took, remember, we was like, I should have told you how many, I don't even know how many shares we had left there. Yeah, we didn't have too many shares left, of course, as we, I mean, when we were getting these out down there, we don't ever want to hold and just, so like when we make money on those, it's just a fluke. And then when we lose money, I feel like it's my bad, because why are we even in something against those imbalances? So I'm going to try to be as responsible as I can with those imbalances and just get out before 350 on any major position, which is what we were doing. We talked about that, right? Like as 350 was coming in, these are outs, 71, 73, 16, 70, I guess, before now the imbalance comes out a buy. Then look, we aggressively took more out right here at 80, as you guys saw. And then now when it takes out the top, we did get out of our last piece there. So that sucked for that. But, and again, there goes Tesla, man, right through that level one more time.
And right through 30 goes Intel.
Yep, so there it goes, man.
It's like everything comes up. I can look. I'm just kind of curious where Nvidia is. See, this is the thing. Nvidia is not really doing that much. So it's actually still beneath 198. The real long on Nvidia was down at 193. Like that was the bottom. I didn't hold on to it, so that sucks. But what I was sort of getting at, and was kind of quickly, like I was really thinking about it, like what's with these wicks? Like a scalp long on the second take of 160, like it broke, all that buying chewed through the level, it then rejected, didn't get past 159.90, and then broke back out. These wicks are going to make it seem like it didn't move, but there was just like that secondary like push was able to get you a quick little scalp trade. It's too late in the day to put this on. Like there's not enough time for it to really go. Like it's not going to 165 in the next 3 minutes or like 161. Maybe you can get something like that. But it's been a good day to learn. Not the best day of trading. I mean, you try to get some back, but quite frankly, when I'll go zoom out, like, when this happens on Tesla in the morning, even if you get a good reverse or, for myself, like NVIDIA, when you open the day, like reloading, I had $4 up here, didn't take it, and then I reload and lose. So when you have that happen, you're not going to be green on the day. But, however, you learn more from your losing days than you do your winning days, at least most of the time. Sometimes you get a winning day and it's like, oh, wow, man, I learned a lot. But I feel like on the losing days, you learn a heck of a lot more. So hopefully it was a good one. Bed Bath & Beyond, just for your morbid curiosity,
Look at Intel.
It's just found its level at 250. I know we're going to trade this one tomorrow, but this seems like it's destined to move right at 4 o'clock because that's usually what happens when this. I don't think it's going to do nothing overnight. I think it's going to make a move right at 4 o'clock personally. And if it goes to $3, whatever, I can't fade it in the aftermarket.
Yeah, for sure. Look, we're getting, I mean, again, we're holding out for lower lows here in Bed Bath & Beyond, but that just never happened.
Look at that 250.
I know, it's just holding, so we just got it all out. We have one more spot. I'm actually at 51 right now, so one little spike to the downside, and we'll finish that trade and get out of Bed Bath & Beyond. And, we did bid. I canceled it. Okay, good. Oh, I have an AMD bid actually right now. Cancel that. What we're going to do is, actually don't even have a Bed Bath & Beyond bid right now, so we'll put it there at 51. Hopefully we get that fill. But all right, so just to recap there, we are getting out of it. The imbalances didn't do anything for Bed Bath & Beyond. I sort of thought, as I said, that we could get like a big sell imbalance and that might be the catalyst to bring it down, but that never happened. So we'll just pass on that. But yeah, look, man. I mean, it was a tough day. We will get some earnings tomorrow coming through. So
we missed the board.
We had the earnings board up?
I don't think we did it. Visa, Intel, American Express. Who else was in there?
Let's throw it up. Here it is.
Yeah, there we go. Visa, Intel, American Express. There's a couple of other big ones. Who am I missing? Chevron. Yeah, we get Chevron in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, that's funny how they released that buyback. Normally you would release that with your earnings. That was a little strange.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll obviously be all over First Hawaiian Bank. I think that's a big name to trade for tomorrow. And other than that, I don't see anything else. So yeah, it's not as good as maybe we thought, but doesn't matter. Intel will lead the way, and then you're going to get Visa. You're going to get all. Oh, good, we got a 51 fill there on Bed Bath & Beyond. So now we are flat. Yep. Okay, good. So
who wants to ring the bell?
I don't know. Hopefully somebody does wants to ring the bell very, very soon.
I have to speak with
our team because it should not be up to you and I to arrange a bell ringing, but hopefully it will happen moving forward. We can find somebody, of course, as the man, the myth, the legend.
You want it. It's
everything's fine with Tony.
We miss him.
No longer here with us on the show, so we do wish he was here. He went on to bigger and better
Fahad,
things.
Get in there in 3, 2, and
1. Yes, sir. There it is. Thank you.
You can pretend to be happy about it.
Noon, yeah, Biz. What's up? Thank you for the good show there. Yeah, we all miss Tony as well. Maybe we'll have him back as a guest appearance at some point. We'll see about that. But I think he may have gone down south because, he had schooling there and everything. So.
For us, that means down south sort of means the U.S., right?
Yes, because...
We're in Canada.
We
say down south, we mean the United States.
He didn't go to Cuba or anything like that. No. So, all right, or maybe he did.
Maybe, I don't know.
Tony,
Bahamas, maybe?
Where you at, my guy? But yeah, anyways, all right, let's review trading after we get back. But for now, we're going to talk to Brendan and figure out what a day. What was that bull doing over there?
Why was he over there?
Oh. You know why we did that reel with the chip thing? And I thought we were going to put it here, and then we wound up doing it in another room. So I did move that. All right, Brendo. I mentioned 3%. Did we get there?
Not quite. Still waiting for Intel, guys. Just keep my eye on whether or not they come out. Not yet. Here we go. 1.09 for the S&P, 0.43 for the Dow. What a day. Yeah, 2. Intel just out, guys. I'll go back to you.
We have that. Do we have that thing there? Come to the screen, right? Or anywhere on one of our
Look,
screens.
Intel, it's out. I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm guessing it's probably a miss. It's only down to 28, 29 right now. Actually trading down to 28.5 is Intel. When we get those numbers, I'm suspecting the margins aren't going to look very good. But above 25, that's been support. They're getting dumped a little bit. That's not the first time we've seen a stock rally into the close and then flush once the earnings come in there. That's exactly what happens sometimes. They kind of trap you in there. I don't know what the numbers are. Maybe you can get that to us, Brendan. But Intel falling like an absolute rock.
Yeah, this is not good for the market, although the NASDAQ seems to be shrugging this off. Let's just go quickly look over here at NVIDIA. Yup, NVIDIA down $1. It's funny, NVIDIA's a $200 name. It's down $1 on that. And Intel's down $2 on a $30 name. They hate Intel. The market and the street hate Intel. That's a tough name to be in, man. AMD continuing to go to the downside as well. Let's just click back on Intel. Yep, big move to the downside right there. Just bounced off 2750. So, there's always zoom out situations that you could do here. 27 maybe as a bottom, 26 and change. But again, crazy to get involved now. We saw Microsoft turn a lot on the call. We obviously saw Tesla with the same thing when Elon mentioned that 2 million delivery number. So I would just say take things with a grain of salt for now, but it's definitely not great as there it is right now. Adjusted revenue 10.5 to 11.5. Holy crap. Their estimate was 13.96. They did 10.5 to 11.5, so they missed huge on the revenue number. Adjusted loss per share 15 cents. Versus 25.
See?
So they miss on revenues, they miss on EPS, and it's not too bad. It's a nice little bounce up here. So now you just got to wait for the guide here on Intel.
I was concerned about them, but the last time I was like, it's a bad quarter. I actually used I used different language last time. It rallied the next day. So I don't want to write it off because I came in the next day, like that was a terrible quarter, Intel was bad, and then of course it ripped my face off shorting it, but I did not like what I was expecting here. At least it's only down 5%, Brendan.
Yeah, they're forecasting a loss as well for the Q1, guys. $10.5 billion versus $11.5 billion as well for Q1. So even that is a miss.
It ain't good. However, the market ended up higher.
We're down.
And the worst thing about it is, like, I think when people were asking, what do you think about Intel? I'm like, I wanted to try to say something good. I don't necessarily think this is a stock that's going to find you a good buy until, like, the second half of the year. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where I'm waiting for. I bought once at 25. I'm waiting around for this thing because I think it's going to fall further, but that's just me.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see about the guidance. That should be everything. Yeah, Black Friday, I don't think so. I think tomorrow will be a fine day. We'll just wait to see again. I mean, if Intel leads, the NASDAQ's not even really moving on this. Brendan, we closed at 1.95. It's at 1.8. So let's not like throw the baby out with the bathwater. But for right now, Intel does continue to go down, and that kind of sucks. But hey, it's 4:05. Neil's trade of the day was Tesla, and it was a confusing one for all of us today as we closed Tesla at 161 or so.
That was me.
Yeah.
Oh, why does it?
It's okay. That's fine. So yeah, because it reverts back. It's like a macro. So that's why that happened. But all right, join us tomorrow. We'll be back at 8:30. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Luca and Sharif. That was a great afternoon show. I hope that we did that justice with our closing show. Thanks, Prad. Thanks, Fahad. Thanks for that beat. I mean, I'd love to play the beat on the outro if we can get that. Thanks, Brenda, with all the news. It was a busy news day, and that's going to continue with earnings, man. Let alone Fed speak and all that. Brendan's a very busy dude over there, so thanks, Brendan, for all of that. Okay, Prad has a new beat for us.
Debut.
Is this a debut? Is this your beat, Prad? I don't hear it. Oh, hold on. What is this? Country music?
That's it. That's it.
No, forget that beat. No, Prad. All right, for everybody here at Trader TV Live, I want to thank you. If I ever hear that beat again, someone's getting slapped. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining. We're back live tomorrow at 8:30. Check us then. Sleep well.